Hi everyone, and welcome to Touhou Podcast of Collection, Episode 3. Today we're going to be doing game-exclusive podcasts, but we're only doing EoSD for today, and that's how we're going to do the next podcast. We're just going to go through each game and talk about it in depth. I'll go ahead and put the template in the description if you guys want to follow along, but that's what we're going to be working off today. So today I have Yats and ZM here.
Hello, it's
Hey.
Yet.
Hey everyone, it's ZM.
Alright, that was the first thing on our template. The next thing is to state our game of discussion. I already did that, EoSD. The game was released in 2002. It's the first Windows game in the series, but it is chronologically the sixth game in the series.
Correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's get into game background. State the player characters that appear in the game. Well, Reimu, Marissa.
Rin.
No.
Satsuki
wish.
doesn't exist anymore, I'm sorry.
Okay.
So,
Shame.
let's talk about the plot. Give an overview on the plot, background, and the incident.
Red Mist is bad.
Yeah. Dark world.
Yeah.
I mean, you're selfish.
Spoilers! You just spoiled
Oh no.
Oh no, sorry.
So, the overall plot of this game is that, as I said, there's a red mist that's covering the sun, and as a result, there's no light, I guess. 'Cause it's always night.
Yeah, it's like permanently dark as if it's night, basically.
And stuff like that is bad because, like, you need sun to live.
Yeah. I mean, you won't have much food otherwise.
Yeah. And so Reimu and Marissa, I think they hear rumors about a mysterious mansion across the lake or something like that, so they go to investigate. It's not
Pretty
really
much.
that complicated.
Yeah, usually the plots are just, like, simple stuff. If you want, like, more, like,
Well-
complex stories, then there's the manga exists, so.
It starts simple in EoSD, I guess.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, like, in Raw K, I guess, it gets kind of...
Yeah, I mean, later soon gets a lot weirder, at least. I don't know if it
Yeah.
really gets complicated, but it just gets weird.
But if you definitely want something that's more like a lot of people like the mangas because they're very story driven and complex, so there's that option.
Okay?
Anyway,
Alright, so let's talk a bit about the game system and mechanics. There really isn't that many systems in EoSD, but outside
Rank.
of the basics, you get rank, which is something that's really only that relevant in EoSD. We know it exists in some of the later games, but
Yeah, it's weird in the later games, but in EoSD you can rank influences almost all patterns, so here it's actually important.
yeah, rank basically makes the bullets faster and I believe more dense as well. Or is it just the speed?
It's usually just the speed, I think, but some patterns get different when they have more rank.
Because like Water Elf fires 3 bubbles instead of like 2,
Yeah.
right? Yeah. So,
Yeah. And there's that Perfect Freeze gets 1 extra bullet layer on Cherno's blue bullets when like all the bullets freeze down when there's max rank.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's mostly speed. That's the main thing that rank increases.
There's also the whole meme about star items and grazing, where grazing raises the value of star items. So if you bomb so the bomb gives you star items and they're worth like a set amount, but then after the bomb ends, which is apparently this is intentional according to the manual, but no offense, I think it's just an oversight that Zoom didn't care about fixing, so he called it intentional. But regardless of the real truth behind it, once your bomb ends, the star items go back to the value that's based on your graze. So that's kind of a big thing in scoring, is bombing to get those leftover star items when your bomb ends and cashing in. So in a way, this game
Yeah.
does have a PIV system. It's just different, and it resets every stage, but it's still there.
And what I did forget, speaking of grace, like which things increase grace again? I mean rank. Which things increase rank again?
Getting
Was it grace or?
items, grazing, and I just think generally capturing attacks or lasting a long time. Doesn't that increase it as well?
Just the longer you're asked when you survive, that increases rank. So
Does it actually, or is that just what we're assuming?
I think, I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it?
I know that like items that are dropped, that like items that go off screen reduce the rank, and it actually causes for a sort of bug on a perfect freeze.
One of you guys should be on wiki duty.
All right, I'm on Ricky duty. Give me a sec.
All right.
I would
I've-
do it,
I've-
but if I
oh
click
my
away
God.
from the window, it'll freeze the game because EoSD
Yeah, no
does
problem.
that.
No problem, no problem.
Yeah.
I'm on Ricky duty. I'm on Ricky duty. Let's see. Rank. Okay. Yeah, it increases survival time. Like it increases by 1 every 32 seconds.
Alright, I thought so because, it wouldn't your rank wouldn't get that big if it was just grades and items, right?
Yeah.
And if you die, or death bomb, or I think doesn't regular bombs decrease it as well somewhat?
Hmm.
Yeah. I don't think there was a difference. I think bombing and death bombing had the same rank decrease, but I could be wrong about that.
No,
Its direct value, it decreases by 16 when the player is hit. It decreases by 2 when they use a bomb.
Mm-hmm.
but death
Yeah.
bombing, like the game counts it as like 16, right? Like I know that if you death bomb, you lose like the same amount as if you had died. I'm pretty sure that's how it works in
Oh,
this game.
okay.
It's
Yeah,
a
probably.
glitch.
It could be because the game does see a death bomb as a death.
Or maybe it does
Weirdly
18
enough.
because you did both. I don't know.
That'd be strange.
But yeah, and if you drop items, does rank decrease if you time out an attack?
No idea. I don't think so, but
So yeah, EoSD's graze and rank.
yeah. And of course, sort of a POC that only works if you have max power, but that happens in a few other games too.
Oh yeah, and power in these old games it goes up to 128, and you get two options always, and lives in this game are gained by score. You get one at like 10 million, 20 million, 40 million, and 60 million, and you can have a maximum of 8 lives, including the 2 extends that you get from Mei Ling and Sakuya,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
unless you decide to start with more than the default lives, which is possible in this game.
Yep. And it's possible from Windows game. It's only possible in ESD, PCP, and IN.
Alright, so the next topic of discussion are the player shots. They're all pretty well rounded, I'd say.
Yeah, I think all of the shots in EoSD were pretty good.
Yeah, for just general 1-2Cs and stuff.
Like,
Mhm.
Reimu A is quote unquote the worst in the sense that she just doesn't have that much damage, but I think that she's not too bad because she has her own quirks, like an easier patchy fight, and I do think she helps on Remelia despite what a lot of people seem to say. Like,
I found the Remy pretty
do.
comfy.
Every time I
Yeah.
do Vampire Illusion, she always dies faster than is any other shot for me if I just stay in the center the whole time. And I think she helps a bit on Scarlet Meister as well.
I just think she's a generally, like, yeah, her damage output may not be the best, but I find that she's kind of comfortable for use.
And like on Scarlet and Sokyo, if Remelia really doesn't want you to stay under her, I think Homing Rim is actually pretty good at it. I found her really useful in Remelia.
Yeah.
Could be. I do like Marissa A as well a lot. It's a very
Oh, I love
simple
Marissa
shot,
A.
but it's like just enough of a powerhouse the whole time that you can. That it just sometimes feels as if you're melting all the bosses.
Isn't it the case, though, that Marissa A can't kill Sakuya A's first non in one wave or something weird like that?
Hmm.
You mean the non?
Yeah,
Yeah, first non.
It probably can't, but I don't know.
Marissa B's pretty nice. She's got a book's edge, but I don't really think it's OP because I actually don't really have that much of an increased rate on books with her.
Marissa B was like my preferred Lunatic 1cc shot because she has a really strong bomb.
Yeah, definitely. Like it's even it autocorrects everything, and it's just so nice. But Marissa B is not. I don't like Marissa B that much. I did use it for my first Lunatic one to see in the EoSD, but I just found that the Illusion Razor got kind of annoying at points because it just disappears when I need it most. I'm like, no.
Yeah, I really don't like that quirk.
Yeah. But yeah, the Master Spark of Marissa B was how Master Spark should have been every time.
It should have been, yes.
Yeah.
And let's get to the elephant in the room, Reimu B, the powerhouse needle shotguns, and
Shotgunning.
just general competency and amazing scoring potential.
Yeah, she's definitely probably one of the most the most beloved shots in the Touhou player base, just because of her what she excels in, her ease of use.
She also allows for so much flexibility in gameplay. Like when you go to Sakia and you get on like her nons mostly, you can choose between like shotgunning, maybe grabbing the items, or just playing it safe at the bottom. And it all plays well into each other. You get a lot of things to do with her, basically, in terms of like what your strategy is.
Yep.
I think that's all we need to say about the shots. I guess we did talk about their bombs.
Well,
Reimu A's bomb is... It's okay, I guess.
I didn't see that as separate things, but...
Okay. Yeah, but Ray's bomb is nice, but it's definitely the worst edition of Fantasy Seal. But it's the first Windows game, so what can you expect? It does damage, but it doesn't do that much. But I mean, it does enough to get the job done in most cases. So
Reimu B's bomb is amazing for scoring.
Yeah, for survival, it's kind of garbage though. But
yeah, you can shotgun bomb, which kind of helps.
I guess. But like normal damage is
Marissa A's bomb is insanely powerful if you point blank, making it very useful.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's good for plant bombing.
Yep, and we already talked about Master Spark and how OP it is.
Yeah.
Alright, so now we're going to get into a stage-by-stage discussion, and here's how it's going to work. We're going to talk about the plot, the background aesthetic, then we're going to talk about the music, and then we're going to get to the gameplay. And as you can see on the template, really, you can just refer to that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so obviously we're going to start off with stage 1, because that is the first stage in the game. So, what is the plot for stage 1? We're flying down a dark... Is it a grassy or is it a plain area?
I don't know. I thought it was like a general road, but...
Yeah, it's just a road to the Misty Lake, I guess.
Yeah. We're just on a road. That's our plot. That's our plot.
That's it.
Yeah, and I mean it's a really basic stage, but that's kind of cute for first Windows stage, I guess.
I mean, I love A Soul as Red as a Ground Cherry. It's one of my favorite stage themes, actually. It makes me feel a bunch of nostalgia because it was the first stage I played because EoSD was the first game I played, so you know.
You be moving ahead. We gotta talk about the aesthetics.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, the template.
I didn't even notice that. My bad.
No, you're good.
Oh, I don't know. Well, let's continue.
The background and aesthetics.
They're simple, but in some way they strike me kinda.
I actually like that.
They make like no sense though. Like once you get to room, you see these bubbles on the floor, and it's like, well, what am I looking at?
I do like how dark the background is because it lets you see the bullets really well. The bullets are all bright and colorful, and it really works. The contrast is amazing.
Yeah. It's kind of like, well, I mean, since all the bullets are either white or red on a blue background, it's kind of simple to keep it easy with the contrast, but...
You know what I just realized? It's gonna be totally awkward that I'm like on Mei Ling's fight right now and we're talking about stage one. But I mean, the video is just there just to be there, so I mean, it's not necessarily has
Yeah.
to be synced to everything.
Pretty much, yeah.
Uh,
The music,
Well, I just said
yeah.
it's one of the most nostalgic themes for me, just because I don't know. I just like the tone of the tune of it. It's enjoyable. I remember like when I was in study hall in school one day, and I was just then there was when I was doing my hard one CCs. Like I was just sitting there playing EoSD, and no one paid attention to me because I didn't have that's well but it's
I,
still, it
thought,
was still
okay. Yeah, I thought you were gonna say.
yeah. I wasn't gonna go
Okay.
there.
Okay.
EoSD was my first Touhou game I ever played, and so this is the first stage theme I ever heard, and it definitely left an impact. I really actually like the SC98 Pro or whatever it is. SC88 Pro?
Yeah,
That,
SC88,
that one
the
is
mini
really
machine.
good.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not too familiar with the USD BDs, but
It's a stage one that doesn't piss me off if I hear it over and over again. Like, it's one of the rare few ones that I don't mind listening to.
oh, well, the only one that does that for me is SA. But
I
that's not even the song's fault, I think.
the essay one is a bit obnoxious though, and the PCB one is like, stop.
Oh, yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh my god.
There's a highlight of me sarcastically singing that on Twitch somewhere.
Show that to us sometime.
We'll see you next
Yeah.
week.
Talk about the
Alright.
gameplay regarding the stage. Woo! We're getting into this section. I decided to have the gameplay talk after all the other stuff first because I think it's best that way.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
So, actually, before we talk about the gameplay, I want to add a little trivia. Did anyone see the comment from Zune in an interview or whatever, where he said that this was a stage that he made, that he wanted to. It's like, this is a stage that I want to make because I want to make it, or something like that. I forgot his exact words. It's the type of stage he wants in a game.
I thought Soon mostly drank beer. I didn't know he smoked weed that much, too.
No, like, I don't know the exact words, but there's an interview of this game, and like this was supposed to be like a prototype stage for all the Windows games or something like that.
Hmm. It's really simplistic in design. It's like the only thing you gotta worry about is kill the enemies, dodge the bullets that come at you, pick up as much power as you
Yeah,
can.
it's very PC 9080, actually, with,
Oh,
like,
definitely.
80 as in, like, 8-ish, not as in... But, anyways, yeah. It's very simple, but at the same time, you're constantly doing shit because you want to get all those power items. And that way you're actually still quite active in the stage, despite how basic all the patterns are. That's what I kind of like about it. It like incites you to do shit.
And that's good design. So
Hmm.
definitely.
Um, yeah,
And it's like,
it's a pretty chill stage. I like going through those little red lanes, like you go in between the two bullets, getting all the items, the little swings. You know, the swoop
I
movements.
well,
Hmm.
yeah, I know what you mean, sort of.
Like after the
Yeah,
mid boss. A Moonlight Ray is a really cute spell card too.
Yeah,
It's aimed little snowballs and a laser. It's so basic, but it's cute.
it's just tap left one time, you win.
And then you've
Congrats.
got scoring where you have to go inside of the thing, and it's based on Rumia's random movement, and so an optimal stage one would have to have a lot of luck, so people just don't do it.
Yeah, stage one in scoring is like a lot of people don't really optimize that unless they really have to.
Stage one, like there's this thing with RNG manipulation where if you play a replay and then play the game, your stage one item RNG will be the same. I think it's like the same seed or something as the replay. So that's what people do now. Every time they want to start a new credit in EoSD, they have to go watch a replay, exit the replay screen, go back into the game. Like, it's crazy.
Hmm.
It was a huge breakthrough. I remember they were super ecstatic to find out about that.
I'm kind of glad that
I mean,
doesn't
I would
exist
be.
in any other game.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
Like being like a slave to randomness is also not always fun, but it sounds better than being forced to do that every time, honestly.
Alright, so let's go ahead and introduce our boss.
Rumia!
So,
Lumia.
talk about the boss design and lore. Rumia has an interesting quirk where she's always having her arms stretched out.
Yes.
She's
She
cute.
doesn't have enough fingers or something.
She has blonde hair. She has a little red ribbon in her hair, black clothes. I mean, she's pretty
She cute.
standard, I guess.
Yeah.
She doesn't stand
I-
out
as
that
as
much,
far as Soon goes, she's kind of basic.
but I don't think she needs to stand out. I think that's the point.
No.
She's
Yeah.
the first boss you'll ever fight in a Windows game if you start with
Yeah.
EoSD.
She really fits with like how Stage 1 plays as well. It just feels like this transition from PC98 to Windows and everything. Like I always find that Windows gets a little more colorful than PC98. Like PC98 was weird, but it was never very clearly going towards one direction or anything. And Rumia's kind of like that as well. She uses all sorts of different attacks in her nons, and she doesn't really follow a pattern, despite being a yokai of darkness.
Yes.
She could have had a focused theme in her Damaku, but she doesn't really have that.
So for them, what I get from the lore is that she just makes darkness around her.
Yeah.
I guess.
I think she just kind of she can sit in a ball of darkness when it's day and not get crazy because she can just stay in the dark. Something like that. I thought that was not just a secondary thing. I thought that was real lore.
You know what I found interesting was during the Marissa dialogue, didn't she say something about not liking the night? Which I thought, like, for someone like Marissa, why wouldn't she like the night? She's a witch.
There are weird people around in the night.
And Reimu likes the night.
Yeah, okay, that is weirder, yeah.
Reimu is a weird character in general.
There really isn't much else to say based on the lore. She just kind of gets in your way because she's the Stage 1 boss.
Yo,
Hi, I'm an
bitch.
enemy.
Yo, bitch, get out of the way.
It's like that one fan game that had 10 stages of that one guy going, "Hey, can you get rid of the snow for me?"
Oh,
That's the whole dialogue. It's one dialogue window.
Talk
Alright.
about the boss theme. My impression of this theme is that it sounds like it belongs in DDR, Dance Dance Revolution. If you don't know what DDR stands for.
Kinda.
I don't know. I don't hear that much DDR, so.
Oh, yeah, it definitely does sound like a DDR theme a bit.
It does. It really sounds like it belongs in DDR.
I danced to it.
I don't know. It just get mashed up a lot. Is what I know, especially with Gangnam Style.
Oh no.
That's all I can say about it, really.
It's a pretty cute theme. It doesn't leave that much of an impression on me, other than the DDR thing. But I mean,
It's very unique for Soon's doing, though. It's still very different from anything else Soon has ever made. I think, even this many years later.
it's not a very intense song either, like Letty's theme.
No, it's happy.
And I like that. I like that it's a bit more subdued. It fits the atmosphere.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's all we have to say about the music.
Yeah.
Alright, now let's get into the gameplay. Rumia has this really cool gimmick that you really don't see ever, I think, in Touhou again. Where she changes what wave she's gonna use in the non-spell, and it's like a roulette, and it's really cool. But it kind of sucks in scoring. But it's really cool.
Well, like I said, it's kind of it feels like something from PC98, because in PC98 you see that a lot too.
True.
Characters just throwing around patterns without it being one big, huge pattern. So they just kind of throw around things. That's what Rumia does too.
I really like that kind of gimmick, and it being a Rumia exclusive thing in the Windows games, at least to my knowledge, kind of makes her stand out.
That's a good point, actually. I haven't really paid attention to that detail much, but yeah, when you think about it, Rumia is the only one that does that roulette system.
Yeah. It's also, I don't know, maybe this makes no sense at all, but maybe it's also just kind of like a leftover from what a lot of arcade shmups do. Like, oftentimes you see that most smaller bosses in that also don't go with a big main pattern, only the big bosses at the end of the game do that. But if you look at, like, I don't know, like DDP, I think, like, they just throw out smaller patterns, especially at the beginning of the fight.
I kind of
Just
like
kinda
to
tip
see
the
something
waters.
like that again in Touhou. Maybe in a fan game.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as it's like a different character, not Rumia doing it again. Because that's usually the case in the fan game. Because you know EoSD.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
From a gameplay perspective, I don't really find the fight all that interesting outside of the nons. The first spell, Nightbird, is literally just aimed stuff again. I don't know what it is about these early games, but for some reason on stage 1, Zune likes to make everything just literally aimed on like every spell card or beginning spell card.
Yeah.
It's like your practice for streaming or practicing aim stuff for the new player.
I guess it's like a nice noob barrier. Like, if you really don't know how to stream, then please don't go any further.
Pretty much, yeah. It's like it's kind of like it's not like a wake up call, so to speak, but it definitely is something that you need to consider because it's like if you can't do this stage 1 pattern, then what makes you think that you can once you see this mode?
Maybe it's like that. Yeah.
But even then,
Yeah.
like it's intended for you to do Lunatic like after like normal like cards in most cases, but you know it's just like.
What is fun on Rumia though is grazing, I find.
Oh, the Nightbird grazing where you go left and right at the beginning. That looks
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah.
And then demarcation is pretty cool as well.
Mm-hmm.
All the
You
grazing.
can just do that one. You can do that one casually as well. That's so nice about like most of the graces. You can like even grace around a little bit casually.
Yeah, you can just kind of play around even like in an LMB run, and it feels nice because you can try to get that extend, you know, by doing grazing and getting a good cancel.
Yeah.
I actually always do that when I do my EoSD runs. I always try to get that 10 million extend. So, let's move on to stage 2. So, the first thing is to talk about the plot of the stage. We're flying over the misty lake, and we're heading towards the mansion. It's across the lake, so we have to cross the lake. I think it's morning time. And
I really don't know.
I think so. Yeah, because stage 3 is like in the evening, and then it goes to night again in the last 3 stages.
Yeah, I guess.
That's taking a long time. Like,
must be a big rake. Let's see.
Must be a very big gate.
I spent all night fighting Rumia.
Well, that makes sense actually, because Damaku battles actually last a while. Like, I mean, in game it takes like a minute, but
If it takes you hours to beat Rumia, then I don't think you deserve to be called the protector of Kinsokyo.
just leave it to Marissa.
No, they both took that long.
Yeah, but what's Marissa? She's not the protective of Gensoku, but she's just a.
She's just an ordinary magician.
Yeah.
So, since Dayose is an exclusive midboss character, we can go ahead and bring her up now. From a lore perspective, she doesn't really have any lore, actually. I mean, she kind of makes cameos later on, but she never even really got an official name.
Yeah, she's just kind of there. And again, this is something, again, that I think is like a leftover from PC98. It's just big big fairy enemy like you have a lot in Mystic Square and LLS.
That's exactly what Diose is, to be honest.
Yeah.
She's just bomb number one, guys. Come on.
And she's got some pretty badass spins, but I guess we'll get back to that later in the gameplay regarding the stage.
Yeah.
Talk about the background and general aesthetic. It's very blue, and
It just feels like there are squares moving over each other. It feels weird.
it's weird, but at least the color choice of the bullets, like green, is pretty nice. Although those white pellets are, isn't there like white pellets all over the stage that are a bit bright on the blue? Like
It's
it's
not
not
that
big of
disturbing.
a deal, but
I don't think anyone's ever complained about that.
Yeah.
one thing I do want to say about the aesthetics is I like the whole thing with the icicles flying at you later on in the stage. It really
Yeah,
makes it
the
unique.
icicles. Yeah, the
It's-
icicles are cute.
I mean, it's basically Mystic Square Stage 2, but it's still nice.
Yeah.
I think it's actually pretty much just a reference to that game. Is there
Kinda
any
looking
difference
through,
in
yeah.
between them either? Aren't they literally the same gimmick?
Well, the ones in Mystic Square shoot bullets.
Oh,
And
do
those
they?
bullets are actually pretty. Yeah, and those are actually pretty scary. Those bullets,
Huh.
like they shoot like drills. They shoot like columns of bullets, and you need to micro through them.
Oh, right. Yeah, I remember now.
Yeah. But aside from that, like I do think that it's kind of empty-ish in terms of like what you really gotta dodge and stuff. But that's mostly okay. You can just get a little grinding if you're doing a lot of attempts. So there's like nothing going on sometimes. Until you get to Cherno.
Alright, let's talk about Lunate Elf. It's a theme that I don't like the original of, but I like the remixes of it.
I never cared much about it, so.
Yeah, me neither. It's like, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what to say about it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's nice on the ears, but.
If you've
Whatever.
have you ever played Super Marissa World?
No, but I don't play fan games much aside from Tori's Mental Education, so.
You need to listen to the Super Marissa World version of Lunate Elf. It is really good.
I'll just put that on right now, real quick.
Yeah, I think it's World 1.
World Nate Elf. Okay.
If-
Let's see how it goes. What the heck? I can't find it on YouTube.
Just search up Super Marissa World 1.
Okay.
I know the entire OST is on YouTube now.
Oh, I found it.
Yeah, link it to Yetz.
Yeah, I can't find it yet.
And people in the chat, feel free to listen to it. It's really good.
No, we're just listening. Silence.
Wow.
Yeah. It's so good, isn't it? It made me like this theme.
Oh yeah.
I'm getting goosebumps. Wow.
It's so good.
Yeah, I can understand now.
Okay, I changed my mind.
Yeah, right? It's like you don't really care for the in-game one, but then you hear the remixes and it's like, wow, this song can be done justice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that changed my opinion. That was amazing. Wow.
Alright.
It gives an easy basis to remix on, I guess.
Yeah. So, talk about the gameplay. It's not really that interesting of a stage, in my opinion. I mean, it starts
Yeah.
off with aimed kunais, and then aimed white stuff, and then Diose with her spins, which is
Yeah, I
actually
talked
really
ab-
cool.
I talked about that by accident already. But yeah, dice spins are like cool. But
They're badass, actually.
They're cute. I like them. They're
Yeah.
cute.
Not that any of us do them, but
Yeah, I don't score EoSD, so.
Yeah, it's mostly just it's mostly just stream like almost the whole stage and just keep holding C, and most like 99% of things die before they shoot, and GG.
If Kana ever does EoSD Elenin, I'm gonna tell him to do the dice spins. And in the Elenin.
Nice.
Yeah, I do like the whole icicles. I don't really think they pose that much of a challenge at the end, but it's still nice to shoot them down, you know?
What's annoying about them though is sometimes they just fly in your face.
Oh yeah, especially if you're scoring and you get into those little gray spots.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, by the way, I'm on the normal mode run because we finished the lunatic run and we're in stage 2, so we're kind of synced.
Based.
Yay, for like 1 minute.
Yeah. All right, let's introduce our boss, Meme Fairy, one of the most well-known Touhou characters. And
Epic meme fairy.
Oh, fuck, sir. I'm kidding. I like Shen. She's okay.
so a lot of people pronounce her name differently. Some people say Cyrno, Kurno, Chirno. I say Chirno because I think that's the right one.
I say Chirno or Cerno.
Isn't her katakana literally Chiruno?
Yeah,
So
Chirino.
Chirino,
Yeah.
yeah.
So Chirno.
I thought there's this theory that that she was meant to be called Chilno, but
Ew, no.
I'm not. Chill now.
No, thanks.
Fuck that.
Probably that, yeah.
she does have no chill in this game, so I guess it kind of fitted. But
I'm gonna freeze you into English beef or whatever.
There used to be a time where Chirino used to be super popular. Like, she was popular enough to even get her own game. But the hype surrounding her kind of died down until Touhou 16 was announced, where Dan Chirino was revealed to be a playable character.
It's funny how she always gets brought back like that, isn't it?
Yeah, but my Twitter exploded with so much Tan Chirino fan art, dude. Oh my goodness.
She really has a good design in that game.
Yeah, definitely. She's fun to use, in my opinion, as well. Like, I mean, she may not be the strongest shot, but
she's also an example of like later Zoom lore getting weird.
Oh yeah, we definitely.
Isn't Chirno basically the biggest meme out of all of Touhou?
Momichi. Oh no, that's different. That depends
No,
on how you look at
Momiji is just we don't we'll get to that in Moth, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Oh goodness.
I guess the most like soon endorsed meme. That's what Chirno is. But...
Also, wow, Icicle Fall normal mode has a gray spot on Chirno's head.
Yep.
Oh really?
Yeah. Speaking of which,
sick.
I'm not really talking about the gameplay in regards to that, but Icicle Fall spawned a huge meme regarding Chirno that you can see in that one. What was that one video? The one with Sawako and Chirno, and it's really Chirno's perfect math class or whatever. And like you see like Chirno like firing at like all the main characters, and her shots are missing them because she doesn't.
They're all in the spot.
Yeah, the little safe spot, and then like every time there's like a new safe spot in Touhou, someone uploads a video with Icicle Fall easy, and they play her theme song.
That meme is like 15 years old now.
Yeah, that meme used to be. I used to see those videos all over the place.
Yeah, and even Violet Detector still has like every safe spot getting called Icicle Fall.
Yep.
It's a good meme. Chirno is pretty big. Her lore in this game isn't really anything, but she's just an angry fairy that wants to challenge the player, I guess.
Yeah, just a really cocky fairy.
Yeah, she's just a very arrogant fairy. She thinks she's really good.
And then she got creamed.
And then she got good later on in Sisyphus, but that's not EoSD, so...
Mm-hmm.
So her design, I mean, she's pretty much ice/water. Like, her entire design is basically blue.
Yeah.
She's got a blue dress, she's got blue hair, she's got the little wings that are like ice or crystal or whatever, ice wings.
Yeah,
Really
she's
simple
just an
design.
ice fairy.
Yeah.
But I guess that gives her like, that's also part of her meme, I guess, or just looking that simple. Again, for Touhou terms.
Her theme. So this theme, for some reason, doesn't it feel like it doesn't fit in EoSD, or rather, it sounds really strange compared to all the other themes in the game.
I don't feel that. I thought that, like, I mean, Rumia's theme is also weird, so
True.
I don't know. I don't have that idea, really. I actually really, really liked her theme, and around this time of year, with Cherno Day being that close, it will never get out of my head again.
Oh yeah. Oh god, it's in 5 days.
Yeah.
I liked the POFV remix really well.
I don't really have an opinion on the theme. I think it's okay, but I don't really.
Yes, I don't think it's a bad theme. I just think
Yeah.
it's really unique.
Most EOSD themes I just don't really have that much of an opinion on, but I do. There's a theme in EOSD that I dislike, and there's only a couple that I like enjoy more than others. But it's meh, I guess.
This theme has been remixed to hell and back, though, as you
Yeah.
can imagine.
And again, it's a very simple theme for Zune's doing, so maybe that's also why it was so remixable.
Talk about
I
the
don't know.
boss fight and its gameplay.
Cherno's boss is fun, gotta
Yeah.
say. It's not super special, but it actually has a lot of different forms of dodging
It's
in the fights.
yeah, it's all just a bunch of random dodging, but it's rather
Oh
cute.
no, I meant that you have safe spots, you have streaming, you have random dodging, you have like the whatever perfect freeze is. I guess also random dodging, but you
I
see,
li-
there's quite some different stuff coming back.
I like Perfect Freeze as a concept. It's really cool.
Yeah, me too. Like I don't think you can like make too many patterns with it, but yeah, it definitely worked for that pattern.
My favorite pattern: ice cream fall easy.
Haha.
No, I'm kidding. My favorite is I enjoy the Vespa quite a bit. I just find it kind of fun because like when you think about it, like Sona like ran out of options, so it's just spazzing out at you.
Yeah, I
Zen
guess,
likes to
but
use a lot of random spam attacks in this game.
Hmm.
yeah, EOSD has its randomness.
My favorite one is actually in stage 6, but we can get to that later on when we get there. I find that the significance of that spell really interesting to think about, but like I said, we'll get there when it's time.
I guess I really don't have much to say about Cherno as a boss in terms of gameplay. I mean, she's pretty unique. She has a whole bunch of forms of dodging. She has a cool spell in Perfect Freeze. But I
Yeah,
guess there isn't
that's
much
it.
to say about Stage 2 anymore.
There's well, I didn't really mention that bug yet, but I did like touch on it quickly. But there's like this rank bug on her second non where if you cancel out her second non while there are lasers at the border of your screen, then your rank will drop. And that
Well,
can
that's it.
actually I thought it was something like that, and that's why sometimes on Perfect Freeze she will suddenly shoot like less blue bullets at you during the freeze period.
That's actually interesting. I didn't know
And
that.
on Lunatic that can really screw you over, especially if you're just kind of like doing a million runs, so you're just half dead on stage 2. You're just like, oh, she's gonna shoot like 6 lines. I'll just stay in my place and not get hit, and then she suddenly shoots 5 lines, and that means that one is directly aimed at you. See, I've lost a run to that because I was like, oh, I don't need to move. I can do something else.
You're talking about Perfect Freeze, right?
Yeah, I'm
You
talking about
said
Perfect
you
Freeze.
said second non on accident, unless I misheard
No,
you.
it's the second non that incites the Perfect Freeze bug.
Oh, right, yeah.
Because if you cancel the lasers while they're at the bottom on the second non, then Perfect Freeze will basically start behaving differently. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Stage 3. We are flying towards the mansion, and we are going through a long path in the sunset, and we're being attacked by the gatekeeper, who we'll get into later.
You shall not pass. Okay. Sorry.
You shall not pass!
What's that supposed to mean?
It's Gandalf. Gandalf
Oh,
the
no,
Grey?
you missed my joke. I don't
Oh.
think I think literally two people will get it, but okay.
The background is pretty orange. The general aesthetic. I like those little spiral things on the bottom. I don't know what the hell they are. The little things that are.
Yeah, the like the beech trees. I don't
Those
know.
are trees? What?
I don't know. I always just thought they were like statues or trees. They just seemed like an art project.
Yeah,
I don't know.
they're interesting. The music is. Oh yeah, the music is like one of the EoSD favorites, if I recall. It's one of the more popular themes in Touhou.
Yes. I don't know if it's really popular, but I do really like it as a theme.
It's
It's
called Shanghai Tea House, right?
uh something like that, yeah.
There's a lot of really good remixes of it as well. I don't really
I I mostly really like the rearrangement that's soon made later in Changeability of Strange Dream, I think.
isn't the song is it this song or is it the boss theme that like Zune created before EOSD or whatever?
Oh, no idea.
I think it was
That might have
Shanghai
been the
Tea House.
boss.
Oh no,
I
that
don't
was
know.
the boss, wasn't it? One of those
If
songs Zune
I know
created
that
first.
he rearranged the boss theme as well in Dawson's Pseudo Paradise, and that one has a lot of music from like Seiho and stuff as well. So I think I would guess the boss theme is the older one.
I don't have much to say about the song itself. I think it sounds nice, but it's not one of my favorite songs in Touhou. Um, I actually don't even
Yeah.
know if I like the original too much just because of the instrumentation.
We're
Eh,
talking about the stage, or
Yeah, stage theme.
it's okay, I guess. Not much to say about it, honestly. I mean, it's there, I guess.
instrumentation is a little wacky, but that's why I like the rearrangement because it does it way better.
The thing about EOSD songs is that they're very hit or miss for me because sometimes that wonky instruments they work really well in some songs, but then in other songs they just sound not that good. All right, so let's introduce our boss. China slash Mei Ling slash
No,
Mayreen
you're
slash
not.
I'm theming.
No, I haven't heard it be called China in years.
Oh yeah, China was a really old meme when people called her that like in like
China.
2010 or whatever.
Yeah, thank God it died,
And then
honestly.
well, I mean, it got revived real quick, like in 2016 for obvious reasons, but you know, China. Okay.
China.
She's very Asian oriented. She's like a kung fu person, isn't she? Or just a martial
Yes.
Yeah,
artist in general. It's actually really cool. I've always liked
and
that.
she's a gay dragon.
Yes, she's a lesbi. She's a lesbo dragon. Although the one thing I don't like is how a lot of people tend to blow her sleeping meme out of proportion and fanon.
That's more of a Soku
Yeah,
thing, I
it's
think.
because of
Yeah,
Soku, but
yeah, but in EOSD she was doing her job, so you know.
yeah, like she wasn't sleeping
Yeah.
on the job in USD. She was actively trying to stop you. I mean,
And so yeah, and Soku's a meme game anyway. I mean, it's a fun fighting game, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's something that's like I mean, the plot in Soku is just
The plot is
it's
a
not to be
meme.
taken seriously. Yeah, it's not to be taken
Yeah.
seriously, anyways. So,
like
yeah.
in every single interpretation I've seen of Mei Ling in fan works, it's always just her. She's sleeping on the job and
Ah,
making a
she lit.
snooze bubble. Ha ha! Sakia caught her. She got knifed in the hat. Ah! No, every single fan work is that,
Hilarious
and
and
it's like,
original.
yeah, exactly, hilarious and original.
XDDDD.
It's so funny.
Oh my god. I mean I don't really care much. I never cared much about Mei in that meme, but you know, but like people make her out to be incompetent when she's obviously not. So it's just like, dude, come on.
No, I've always like at least from EOSD standpoint, I always considered her to be a pretty capable person. I mean, makes a lot of appearances in the stage. No,
Her Damaku is definitely not lazy.
yeah, she feels like a very strong-willed character, very determined to protect her family, so to speak, because the
Sense
Scarlet.
of justice.
Yeah, she's got a big sense of justice. My interpretation of her is completely different from what a lot of the fan interpretations are.
You know, like you guys know strange creators of Outer World, correct?
Yeah.
I think isn't
I don't
that
know what Soon said in it, but I do know it.
Yeah, no. There's the character ratings from the Reimu, Marissa, and Saki, and Saki actually rates Mei-Ring pretty high. So
Yeah, doesn't she rate her like an 8 or a 9 or something?
yeah, she like Saki obviously it's like a 9. She respects Mei-Ring quite a lot. So
Yeah.
and she's a pretty badass character in general.
yeah, I like Mei-Ring. She's fun.
Her design is pretty cool. She's got like that cool green dragon dress with a little bit of there's like the leg fan service or whatever.
Tits.
Tits.
You're gonna get me banned from YouTube. You're gonna get me demonetized.
Oh, no, I said a bad word. I'm sorry.
Gonna get demonetized even though I don't
Quick, put in some nursery rhymes.
Just censor it.
You said
Mealing, yes, Sakia. Sleeping on the job, no, Sakia. Telling lies, no, Sakia. Open your mouth, ha ha ha.
Oh goodness.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I was hoping to be interrupted.
I feel like this is definitely our best podcast yet. I'm just getting that vibe, and we're not even like an hour in.
This is super fun.
This
so.
is really fun.
Okay, so
I like her hat and her long red hair, and I like how she like kicks her way in the screen, so to speak.
I like that shit-eating grin she has.
Oh no, the EoSD art.
I like that she actually doesn't have legs.
Wasn't there like a meme about that? Like there's a picture of Mei-Ring and Patrick with no legs. And someone gave him legs. I need to find that sometime.
Yeah, well, how did that even start? Well, I guess it's just a China dress, but why are her legs such a thing when she literally didn't have them in a portrait?
I don't know.
I don't know, but then maybe we should cover the stage a little more, or did Mealing just infatuate us this much?
Oh, I forgot to talk about the gameplay of the stage. I just completely moved on to Mei Ling. Okay, my bad. The stage itself is actually pretty fun, I find. I like those wall fairies where if you don't kill them instantly or whatever, they'll start to give you trouble.
Yeah. For EoSD, it's actually pretty serious routey stage, or like for Touhou, I guess, for older Touhou.
Especially for scoring, you've got all those really crazy like tap streams at the top of the screen.
Yeah, the scoring's like, this is the coolest stage for scoring probably in EoSD. This is like the main stage, I thought, together with stage 5.
I like the mid-boss non. I like that ring on Lunatic that looks so scary, but it's actually not.
Oh, the slow one. On
the
mid
slow
boss.
ring.
Yeah.
I like the end of the stage where you have to like plan which plan which fairies you kill and all that. Like that's really cool. It's just a really solid stage overall. I like the little safe spot at the end where you can just kill one fairy and go in the left corner. And I like how score runners get cucked sometimes when they have to do it in the middle and a blue ball comes out of nowhere and just cucks them.
Wow.
And then they reset the game without award.
Yeah. I guess
Sad
there's
times.
not much else to say about the stage. It's a really creative stage. It's got a lot of cool elements, and I think it really tests your practicing and learning abilities. I don't think you can just consistently and in it if you've never really practiced it.
Especially if you didn't practice it and have some routes.
Yeah.
If you go into this without routes, it's a very scary stage.
But at the same time, you can still kind of guerrilla it.
Somewhat, yeah.
Somewhat.
But you need luck on your side for sure.
So now we can talk about
The podcast's favorite character.
Oh, never mind. Yeah, keep going.
So we talked about Mei Ling's design and lore. now we gotta talk about our theme. We kind of mentioned this earlier, but there's like a Dolls in Pseudo Paradise remix of it.
Yeah, I think that like this one is like in EoSD. It's maybe a little too weird for my taste. Goes like too much everywhere and nowhere.
I like
It
the MIDI.
it is the boss theme though, isn't it? That was made before EOSD or whatever.
I guess, yeah.
Could be.
It's
I don't know. I like the instrumentation at the beginning. I guess that does have a very EoSD feel to it.
yeah. It's a pretty fast-paced theme. I
I
think
find it kind of hectic. So
it
yeah.
has a lot of grace to it as well, doesn't it? Lots of elegance, surprisingly, for a
T-
character like Mei Ling.
Kind of. I guess. I mean, especially the pseudo paradise one. Yeah.
It's very Asian, I think, too. Well, it has
Yeah. I
Asian
guess it
elements.
has that very Chinese feel to it. I guess that's where it mostly comes from.
Isn't it? What was it called? Shanghai Tea House or
No,
whatever?
this one is like, I don't even know what
The
the
very
name.
hard name. It's like Shanghai Alice Meiji of 83 or
Oh
something like
yeah,
that.
that. Can we talk? So are we gonna get into like the detail about the patterns next? Because I don't
Yeah,
know we have much to say about the theme now.
yeah, we're in gameplay now.
Okay.
Screw mailing head grazes, even though I've never tried to do them.
Yeah, I like mailing head grazes are like the true final boss of EOSD scoring. I always hear.
But let me just go in detail about the hardest spell of all time in Touhou history. That's Rainbow Wind Chime. No, Rainbow Wind
Oh
Chime
yeah,
is the hardest spell for anyone to do. Because I mean, do you know how hard it is to tap left and right? I don't even know, dude. It's
the hardest
It's
spell.
like a rare anomaly in EOSD for a spell to be completely static, like not even aimed at you or anything, like to just be the same every time.
it's unheard of. It's I don't even know. I can't even wrap my head around it.
I don't actually really understand that spell's existence. Like, why did Soon make it like that?
I don't know.
I don't know. It's cute.
Top 10 the Touhou mysteries.
It,
I
in scoring, it's also pretty weird because you have to like
look at your
constantly drop
grays
all your bombs and look at your
to
grays.
know
And
when to bomb again or something. It's weird.
yeah,
You know, I didn't bring this up earlier, but like the opener can sometimes meme you, even just LMB runs.
when she goes down, or
Yeah, like no, sometimes you can just get a really weird wave. It's rare, but it does happen.
hmm. Yeah, that's true because like the later bullets are sort of faster than the first ones, and then it can clog up on you or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I like the second non, the addition of the whole fairies thing. It's really cool.
Yeah, I like the little fairy army that she calls. I thought that was pretty cute.
It's the Scarlet Police.
Yeah,
You're
and
under arrest.
I also like how they do like nothing at the same time. They just shoot those aimed shots, but it's like, oh, let me just tap to the right one time there. Thank you, Rumia too.
And then the second spell, oh, Dreamvine is a fantastic meme. How like it slows down on lower rank and actually gets like harder. It's just
Oh
this
yeah, yeah.
big mess of blue bullets that just fires really crazy like, and she moves around the screen a lot. It's a really hectic experience, but I really like it.
It's just a really weird blue pentagram. The way they spawn and what they do then, I don't even know.
Mm.
The third non is just also a meme because if you kill Dreamvine, in fact, I always make sure she's high on Dreamvine before killing it. Even though I know it's not that bad, I still don't like dodging the third non when she's low on the screen.
Yeah, the red dodge is kind of awkward.
I hear it's even worse as
Mm.
Marissa.
Oh, like that. It's kind of creepy, yeah.
The third spell, I don't like the third spell. It's really weird. I know it's all about
It's
like
weird, but I do like the weird physics at the same time, especially the gravity stuff. Like
yeah.
that, it's one of the more yeah, what I kind of like about Touhou patterns, looking patterns. It's got some weird like complexity to it. That's what I usually do enjoy a lot.
The last spell is pretty cool too. It's so crazy
Yeah.
sometimes.
Last spell it's usually very easy, but it can also offer like opportunity for the silliest dodges.
It's the angles of the bullets combined with their speed that really makes it crazy sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
You have anything to pitch in
And it
about
just
Mei Ling's
looked.
fight, Zian? Before I move on?
I was gonna say that, but I kind of zoned out because I'm looking at something. But I was gonna say that I enjoy, like, the Mei Wing's fight on non-cancel. I find that kind of an enjoyable thing. Just
Oh,
like
yeah.
waiting till all that stuff's on screen, then you take it out, and then you cancel it. It's pretty. I don't know. It's just so satisfying.
And the full power clears?
Yeah, definitely. And then the corner bombs used in the second non was just super cool to watch.
Yeah, there's a lot of bombs on Mei Ling because you spend the whole stage building up Grays, and then you start really cashing in on her fight with the corner bombs.
Yeah, that's for scoring, by the way, to clear up.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just suddenly started about that, but
I can't believe, how could you fuck up Mei Ling so badly? You don't need to be bomb spamming her so much.
Wasn't there like a meme where someone like Cacti posted like a scroll under Reddit, and then someone's like, "Why do you bomb so much on Mei Ring?"
Yeah, and then there's this other person that was just like, I can't believe you managed to clear despite how much you fucked up stage 3.
And the best part, like they was like, "Why'd you clear 0-0? You need to clear more resources." Oh my god.
If you really think about it, like if you watched an EoSD score run and you didn't know what scoring was, like you wouldn't, like it would just look like the player is just fucking up a lot, like they don't know what they're doing.
True.
Like, why are you going in the corner and bombing? Why aren't you shooting at the boss? You know?
yeah.
It's not like PCB where, like, if you were just scoring, people would be like, oh, grazing and stuff.
Yeah.
Or IN.
Basically, like everything that's not USD.
Alright, I finished my second replay.
Okay,
Oh,
so
wow.
I guess we finished something about stage 3, so I guess we move on to stage 4 now.
Yeah, but don't feel like we have to rush. We're not even an hour in yet, or if anything, we just hit the hour mark.
Oh no, I'm just saying that we just finished stage 3. So
Yeah, I don't have anything else to say about stage 3.
bye, Mei Ring.
neither.
I'll keep you in my heart.
Stage 4, we are going inside
Oh.
of a library, because instead of going through the main gates, the protagonist decided to sneak through the library, and we're in a very dark, mysterious, shady area, but with a magical, mystical vibe to it as well. That's the lore, and
That's
Yeah.
the war.
we go
Don't-
down, we fight one of the demons in the library, we get mauled by a bunch of magical books, and then we go see the librarian herself.
And then, yeah.
Like, I already hate reading, but now I never want to go to a library anymore.
The aesthetic is actually pretty, I like
Aesthetic.
it. Yeah, it's creepy in a way, too. Like, it's just a very dark and gloomy place.
I love how the color, just like the background, the stage color just changes. Like the farther you go in, it's really nice.
Yeah, the color memes.
I honestly, I don't know. I always found it mostly just kind of weird, but it never really did anything for me. You just have these giant books in the background, which I mean, perspective is a little fucky in Touhou a lot of the time, so maybe I shouldn't be nitpicking this one for it. But I also don't really get the fog. Like, is it just really like damp in there, or is that like
If it
asbestos?
was, the books would get all messed up because, moisture.
Yeah, but why is it weirdly blue?
I think it's just the lighting, because the boss, she like makes a comment, I think, in one of the dialogues about how yokai had better vision than humans, so she can keep the library that dark and still read or something like that.
Mm.
Hmm.
And that's all I have for the plot and aesthetic of the stage.
So let's talk about the
Yeah.
music.
Music. It's
Oh, I love it. I love it. It's such a good theme.
they're really, really good remixes of it, and I think it's Soku.
Yeah, Soku's was amazing.
Soku does really fun stuff with it.
The original itself, I mean, it's pretty nice.
it's such a good theme. Like when I first heard it for the first time, it was just I don't know. It left an impact on me. Not as much as like stage one, but it definitely was something like the game's like it just like screams the real game is about to start, so you better get ready.
It even
That's
gives
what I do
that
like.
gloomy.
Like by the time you get to like the second part of the stage, it gets pretty serious. It's like, oh wait, yeah, I'm actually far into the game now.
Doesn't it give that like gloomy feeling of like hope in a way? Like
Oh no, the opposite. Gloomy feeling of despair.
no, but
'Cause-
like I don't know. There's like a piano remix of this song that I really really like. That's really emotional. I find. I wish I knew the name of it.
hmm.
But the song is really pretty on its own, and I guess that's all I really have to say. The
Yeah.
melody's
Yeah.
really good. I like the change in music when Kawakuma appears,
Oh yeah, that's
Uh,
my favorite part.
and we'll get into
yeah.
Kawakuma in just a bit. Um, the gameplay,
Mm,
the gameplay of the stage. There's an elephant in the room. You know,
books.
Books.
What was Zune thinking? Oh my
The
goodness.
fuck books, yeah.
but even before we get to that, like the entire stage is really cool, isn't it? Like there's a lot of interesting ideas in what the fairies and stuff are doing, and
It's like, well, maybe for some people this was stage 3, but like when I saw EoSD for the first time, stage 4 was like when I started to think, oh yeah, this is a bullet hell. Like suddenly you just had shit everywhere.
what I also like is the unique mechanic of this stage where there's bullet canceling fairies, which you don't see often in Touhou. I mean, you see it all over in IN, but that doesn't count.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, the bullet canceling fairies can be used quite well. I
The
like that
end
too.
is pretty humorous because it's like you get this massive, crazy clusterfuck of bullets, and you're obviously meant to clear it.
Yeah, and it's actually fun to dodge too, like when you kind of understand how it works. Because you can like, it's fun to like stall how much you can dodge it, basically.
It's just a stage with cool ideas. And then books. Books is basically one of those PC98 reminiscent things of like the impossible spam section on a stage, you know?
Yeah.
It's that part that's obviously meant to be really insanely difficult that you're just supposed to bomb through. Though I consider it the real mid-boss of the
Well,
stage.
the weird thing about books is that it's only really hard on Lunatic, I thought.
Oh yeah.
Like, on normal, from what I can remember, it was pretty normal. And on hard, it also acted mostly normally. But then on Lunatic, it just goes mental. And I don't really know why, but
Yeah, there's just this huge difficulty spike, and it's like I think it's the hardest attack in the game. I know some people disagree.
Definitely.
yeah,
I'd
That's
say it
well,
is.
yeah, I probably think so as well.
it's just so crazy, and it's only a stage section, and it's in stage 4, and it's the LNN filter.
It's just like, please, Koakuma, come save me. On
I
Lunatic,
I
it's like, please get here now.
I don't like the books because I think they look. I think it looks ugly in general. Hashtag hot take. All the just green everywhere. And they're all messy and they're all overlapping in random and weird ways. And the whole pattern is really stupid to dodge. And I know I just say that because I suck at it, but I
I like asshole patterns, so yeah, all the things you said, but it makes it good.
I like I mean I like PDH and Stage 6 PCB, but I don't like USD books because I just don't like the way they work. It's too intense for me in a way that I don't like.
Yeah, I get what you mean. I mean, I enjoy random dodging, but
What
I'm
is
just not.
very nice about books, though, is that it does have a lot of strategy in how you want to approach it.
Yeah, like taking out the books.
There's a lot of
Yeah,
nuances.
there's actually a lot of nuance in it that can really help you get much better at it on Lunatic.
And
And like something like PDH doesn't have that, and doesn't really have that, at least
now
not to that extent.
now that we're
Yeah.
here, do you want to bring up your death zone theory?
My Death Zone meme, dude, that's like a year ago since the last time I mentioned that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that had to do with like that basically you have to find the point where the bullets of the third and the fourth book that spawn where they cross or something like that. And once you kind of realize where those bullets cross, don't go there. Just go anywhere else, really, unless it's like a convenient spot for all the other rules that books has. But that's all I remember from that. I don't know, like by the time that I could have gone more in depth by that, I was kind of done with EoSD. So
The thing about books is that I know there's the whole thing of just practice them to get good at them, but I really feel like they're so random that even if you play them a lot, you're not necessarily going to assure a consistent cap rate on them.
no,
It feels
Yeah.
pointless even to practice them because
if like someone was to that point, is what you're saying now, that they could do it with like really that level of consistency, it would be like news, sort of.
I think it's
Yeah.
really just your dodging skill in general. And I guess you can increase your dodging skill by playing them, but they just don't even feel that intuitive to practice.
Like I was saying before, but I do enjoy random dodging, but I'm just not too big a fan of like patterns like books that are just like like I guess you could say like quote unquote unreasonable like random dodging because there are times where it just gets a bit too ridiculous, and I'm not too big. I prefer like more consistent difficulty in my random dodging.
I suppose, yeah.
And Kawakama is kind of a joke. She can meme you sometimes, but
I mean, not for 1cc's, I'm pretty sure.
Don't get cocky.
yeah, she's scary.
Yeah, you can like, especially if you don't always really know how to read ahead, then those kunai can really screw you over if you don't get a good skill on her quickly.
But your rank will be lower because you failed books. Ket.
Nothing sucks more than capping books than dying to Karakama.
She actually is a little
Oh.
scary on max rank, though,
Yeah.
isn't she?
Yeah, she is.
She can meme, so yeah.
As for her character, I mean, she's
What characters?
the type of character
Yeah.
that fans really want more out of, but they never get more out of because
It's just like say again.
Yeah.
I would say it's just a midboss.
I mean, you can actually do some nice things for a character. Like, you could because she and Saki are both servants, so like you can see them bonding. Like, you can explore a relationship with Patchy. Like, I've actually seen some interesting fan works of like Crockman getting a fleshed out character, and she can be pretty well done.
I've seen a lot of plot from Koakua as well. I get what you're going to, CM.
she's
Yeah.
generally accepted as Pacholi's assistant. Like,
Yes.
she takes care of the library. She
Yeah,
protects
I
it.
do. Yeah, I do think that that's a pretty cute role.
And I it is kind of supported by there's this one was it the one where they're going to the moon or whatever? Really wants to go to the
Yeah,
moon.
Silent Sinner.
And it
I
shows
think.
like the indoor like library pool, and then it shows like the little stand, and it has like a canonical Kawakama appearance.
Oh, that could very well be.
Yeah, so I think that
I mean,
kind of
I've read that.
supports that she is kind of distinct.
Hmm.
She gets her own fight in FDF. She got upgraded completely in that game.
Yeah.
I wonder what the dialogue between her and Pacholi is like. It never got translated, so I don't know. Oh wait, no, there is the Steam version, isn't there? That's like English.
Yeah.
English. Well, I'll look at that sometime.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, let's not spend too much time on Nameless
Yeah.
Mid-Boss number 2. I can tell you guys want to move on.
Bomb number
Yeah,
2.
definitely.
Okay.
Let's introduce our boss. Pacholi Knowledge. She is the librarian of the Scarlet Devil Mansion, and she is wanting to expel the intruders that have snuck in the library in order to protect, the mistress and all the people in the mansion. And she is anemic and has asthma and is a very sickly yokai in general. And I think apparently through the lore that causes her not to be able to recite her spells or something like that.
Yeah.
Like she can
It's
only
just
use her good magic on a certain day.
Yeah.
It's actually really interesting how fleshed out she is. But then again, like she's a stage 4 boss. You know, as you go on in the game, the bosses get more fleshed out and they get more interesting because they're more relevant.
Hmm.
She's got a lot of appearances in later games. She's a playable character in the fighting game. She has a lot of cameos, like an essay, and
STB.
yeah.
She has some really sick patterns there.
In general, she definitely gets the love by Zune.
Hmm.
I find her great. She's fun.
She's a very smart, intelligent character. She's got a massive resources of books. God knows where they all came from. Um, in general, I find her a really compelling character. I mean, she's a fan favorite. I know there's a few people, actually, there's a lot of people out there that have Patchouli as their favorite character, and I honestly can't blame them. She's one of my favorites. She's not my favorite character, but
She used to be in my top 10, but now she's like top 30. But I enjoy her. I think she's good. I like her quirks with Marissa. Like an essay. So
her design, she has that long purple nightgown, little cap. She looks very comfy.
waifu bait.
Ah,
She's always dressed in her little
Well,
PJs.
I guess because of the PJs, maybe.
Her little
Bait, but
Yeah.
I don't know. She seems incredibly comfy. Yeah.
Stripes are appearing, so yeah.
Like she is what I want to be every Saturday.
Basically.
and
I don't know. There's one thing about her design, or I guess more about the portrait, that I've been like confused about for years, and I feel like asking if someone else has had that idea as well. So when she has this one portrait where she like holds up her book in front of her face, did
Cute.
anyone think that those were sunglasses at first?
What?
Like really, really badass sunglasses.
I think I know what you're talking about.
That's what I saw like the
Oh.
first 3 times or something, or like more than that. I just couldn't unsee it for like years.
I'm actually about to get to Patchouli in the run right now, so I can look at that later and I'll comment on it. That's
Like
interesting.
especially the first 2 times, I thought she was holding a like I thought she was wearing like those. There was like this sunglasses meme a few years ago with these really big orange sunglasses that were like a sign of being badass or something, and they looked like that except they were black. I don't know. But
Makes sense to
MLG
me.
Patchouli.
that's what my brain does.
She's dank.
She's a really cool character.
Yeah.
She gets paired with Marissa a lot, obviously, because they're all magicians.
She cute.
The
And
boss
they're both-
theme,
I like it.
Locked Girl, Craigism.
It's
It's
one
such
of
a
my
good
favorite boss
theme.
themes. It's one of my
really
favorite boss
good.
themes. It's very good.
Come on, yeah, it's really good.
I
Come
don't
on,
know.
you-
For some reason, it gets very repetitive. For me.
No, it's great.
It's really good. You have a different
know.
opinion than me?
How dare I?
We're on the internet?
I think I don't really hear too many like remixes of it, but I enjoyed the original quite a bit. So
There's some really comfy remixes. The one on the Rack 1010.
yeah,
Yeah, that one. The one that was on that video was really good with like the music box at the beginning. Oh, I think I'm about to get a Patchouli. I'm on the Three Fairies part. I'm gonna look at her MLG sunglasses.
dude, she's
Yeah.
based.
They'll probably skip the dialogue though.
I'm waiting.
It skipped. Fuck. I'll have to
Ah,
look at it later.
all right.
But
I can just do this in the meantime, I guess.
I do like Locked Girl as a theme. Let's talk about her fight. Oh boy, so this introduces the meme where she has a huge assortment of spells, and depending on the character you play as, you get a different assortment. And there's like 10 spells or whatever that she can rotate.
Yeah.
A lot.
So
You know,
let's-
More.
What's up?
what was funny actually is that like when I was like really new to Touhou, I thought that her spells would rotate based on the day you would play on.
That'd actually be a pretty cool mechanic, but
Because I don't know, somewhere for some reason I read that they were like aligned with the days, and that's why Silent Celine and Royal Flare are like Sunday or like Saturday and Sunday cards or something.
Oh,
I thought there was
God.
something about that, so I thought that she would like rotate her cards based on the day you were playing.
LNN strats or score strats change the day of the week on your computer in order to do a
Yeah.
test. You have to play on Monday or you'll get the easy spells or whatever.
Yeah.
avoid the Agni Radiance days.
Avoid a Friday like Nightmare Friday. It would have like Marissa A.
Oh shit, it's Wednesday, I'll get Emerald Megalith. Oh shit, I'll just do something else.
It's Friday. You get Sylphehorn and Agni Radiance.
Just get Metal Dragon and you'll be fine.
Silver Dragon.
Silver Dragon, okay. What was the other one? Metal Sign or something?
Something.
No one here plays Mercy Beast.
Oh, metal.
Yeah, Metal Fatigue, that's it. Silver Dragon and Metal Fatigue, that's
And
it.
we're actually on Pachili's fight while we're talking about Pachili's fight. How amazing.
Yeah.
The non-spells are actually kind of cool, I think. I like how
Yeah.
they work. They're very memo trashy, but like I like how the hitbox of the laser goes away before the sprite, so you can like go in the laser and not die. That was always so cool.
Yeah, that's fair, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I do have some cool stuff to them.
The spells in general, they're very hit or miss for me. I like things like Sylphehorn. I really like Sylphehorn. Emerald Megalith is really fun and intense. Then you've got like garbage like Mercury Poison and like
No, dude, Mercury Poison
Water
is fun.
Elf.
Mercury Poison's good. Water Elf
I
isn't
love
good, though.
Mercury Poison.
Water Elf is ugh. It's the worst.
What is Water Elf?
It's not even fun. It's just like garbage.
It's, yeah, I don't know, it's got like fun improv to it, I guess, but it can also just get really frustrating because she can jump around too much and then just put bubbles in the wrong places.
You've
And
also
you're stuck.
You also got Agni Radiance, which is really cool, but you only get to fight it as Marissa A. It's really random and it does wall you, but I find it interesting as a spell.
Rainbow also fights Agni Radiance.
No, she fights Agni Shrine. It's a variation of it that only has the fireballs.
Oh, wait. Yeah, I think so. But Marissa A's is pure cancer, though, so yeah.
And then you
Yeah.
get Lava Cromlech, but we don't talk about Lava Cromlech.
I
So
mean,
that's the other one Rainbow A gets. Marissa A and Rainbow A only have Rob.
I actually like Lava Cromlech to some
Ew,
extent,
it's
I guess.
disgusting as Marissa
It's,
A.
it's better than Megalith.
I don't even know if I can say that.
Well, you can. I can. Megalith is so dumb. Oh, yeah, oh, sure, have like 6 bubbles at light speed. Cool. They're all diagonal too, by the way. Have fun. Go do books again.
Books.
Yeah.
The
I don't
boss
know, Megalith
fight
is just evil.
is really creative. I wonder what Ren Satsuki's fight would have been like.
Oh, it would have been even worse than Marissa A's, that's for sure.
I like the ideas. It's really iconic. A lot of these spells are very, very iconic, actually.
Yeah, that's true.
Emerald Megalith being one of them. Is Emerald Megalith the most iconic patchy spell? Or is it Sylphehorn?
It's not Sylphehorn. I mean,
Really?
Megalith. I'd say it's probably Mercury Poison. That's probably the most like.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Also because it comes back in SA as like the first card or something.
Yeah, and only the normal variation of Princess Undyne comes back, and people
Yeah.
mainly remember Buried Rake. So yeah.
Varian Lake is also just a silly card sometimes.
Oh no, I forgot about that one. Screw that spell. I hate it. It's so random.
It's so dumb.
Hashtag another ramble, another Mino ramble.
Uh,
You gotta get triggered.
it's fair for Burian Lake.
Remember? Did you ever see the one that Gibby got?
I think I did, yeah. There are some amazing Bavarian lakes out there where the bubbles just go they
It's just
spin
like,
all the way.
what am I supposed to do? Was that
Yeah,
even?
and then
I think his comment was literally like, was that even possible?
He wasn't even phased. He's like, what was I supposed to do?
yeah,
I think I think it is possible for that attack to give you an impossible situation though.
it's just typical patchy, just really dumb and random, but also just kind of funny because of it.
I think that's all I have to say about our fight.
Yeah, I
That
guess.
that's pretty much everything that we touched. So yeah.
So,
Hey,
stage.
There's a gimmick we didn't mention, but I don't know what to say about it. But she actually gets more cards on the higher the difficulty you play.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. And then normal Rainbow B has Sulfate Horn, so
So, like, yeah, I always thought on normal that she was like really easy, and on Lunatic I just got like terrified by her every time. Oh yeah.
I guess we can move on to stage 5 now.
So, stage 5 is just the mansion interior, going through the main halls. You're getting stopped by a maid who's, the head chief maid servant of the castle. She has really
The
cool
big
ability.
cheese.
We'll talk about her later. Um,
The big
the
cheese.
the aesthetic isn't that actually. I don't actually really like the aesthetic of Stage 5. It's just like a window. I'm actually looking at it right now. It's literally just like those
It's
weird curly things on the side, which don't even make sense. What are those?
I have no idea what's going on, but that's also why I sort of like it.
Oh yeah, there is a thing about Pachuli's dialogue where she says that Saki like plays with time and space,
Oh yeah.
but
Oh, that
like,
could actually be why, yeah.
what are those things? They're like just curl. They're not even walls. What are they?
I thought they were, at first I thought they were like decorations of pillars, but it doesn't really,
It
it
just
could be floor or wall no, I don't know.
no, because there's different layers of them. They're just there
Yeah,
for no reason. It doesn't make any sense.
I don't know what they are.
And it's just plain.
Hmm.
I don't know.
I do like how it toys a little with the lighting. But again, I find it weird, like how is there so much light shining through those windows and then the next stage is fully dark again? Like I never understood lighting in the EoSD and what time it is of the day, and it's so weird. But
At
yeah.
least the music is really good.
Yeah, I like the stage 5 music. It's nice.
Yeah.
It's very intense, very foreboding.
That's what I
Yeah,
also really like.
I think like, to be honest, I think it actually has a. I mean, the stage 6 theme has a is nice, but I think stage 5 it puts me on edge more, so to speak.
Like what's very weird is like the ending of the track is actually kind of calm, but for some reason it always gets me really creeped up.
Just like just the beginning of the stage 5 theme, it's like it's like wow, I'm entering the true enemy territory, that kind of thing.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
The piano is interesting. The little triplets, or are they triplets?
Mm-hmm.
I like
Yeah,
that.
they. That's
It sounds memey on MIDI as well.
Oh yeah,
MIDI stage 5. Oh boy.
Hmm.
it's pretty good. Gameplay. It's
Streaming.
it's such a
Sorry.
weird stage because it's actually not even threatening at all if you know what you're doing. There's so
It
many exploits that
well, what I wanted to say was it's kind of like it's kind of like MS stage 5, but much easier and exploitier.
yeah, like the I guess if you don't kill those wall fairies, you'll get memed.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh,
I
those are
don't
really
know
bad.
what Zin
Yeah,
was thinking about that, honestly.
yeah. I don't know who and how they play tested that, but
And then the mid boss is literally just stand behind her the entire time for the
sprinkler
non.
system. Yeah.
I
I
didn't
love
even.
that name.
Is that what people really call it?
It's like an older meme, I think, but I remember again from when I was like new to EoSD that someone that like a video referred to it as sprinkler system.
Good meme.
It's a pretty good name. But yeah, I also just like dodging it normally though. Like I refused to use the save spot for a long time just because I enjoyed the dodging so much on this one.
Ethical gameplay.
And then the spell, if I can already cover that, I don't know.
Yeah, you can. It's part of the gameplay.
Misdirection, I like it, but it's also just kind of weird,
It's weird,
especially.
isn't it? It's such a weird spell. But I
Yeah,
like how you can influence what it does.
yeah, it's very funny because it misleads you into thinking, oh, it's all streaming, I can just sit here, and then you just kind of like, then 2 seconds into the card, you already get greedy and you want to sit under her the whole time, and then you fuck it up.
When I was a noob, I didn't understand the whole thing about being on the sides to damage her, so I'd always like be in the middle and never kill her.
Mm, there goes your one up.
Rip.
Mm. So yeah, remember that time I tried to like score EoSD out of nowhere and I missed the one up.
Oh yeah, and then you game over on my stream.
Yeah,
That was
still
funny.
my best run.
You
But...
thought you thought you got the one up. I'm like, dude, no, you didn't. Yeah, that was funny.
uh,
Memes. Other
but
than
yeah,
that,
what's
though,
also with misdirect, what's also really annoying is like if you want to practice that, you basically need to learn 2 routes for it, also for survival, because you can either start by going off to the left or going off to the right. And if you want to practice that, you always need to get like you always just need to hope that if you know one of the routes, that she will just go to the other one. So like half of your attempts will just be wasted time.
it's
It
also a
makes it.
thing where you don't want to move too much because if you fuck up the kunais, they'll karma you.
Hmm. That's true, yeah. But that's why the route is also so important. If you want to do it consistently.
The post mid boss part, the spam section is definitely like MS vibes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just spam.
And then the end part is funny because like when people start off, they don't realize it's aimed, so they mess it up, and then they get walled by the blue stuff. That's one of those nostalgic
It's like
things.
yeah, it's like the first time you do it, and then you see, and then like half a second into those fairies, you're like, oh,
Didn't
I am an idiot.
didn't Chum have like a 4 miss no bomb where he died twice on those fairies or something?
Oh, what?
It was a good meme. You
Ouch.
should ask him about it
Jeez.
later, but yeah.
Ugh. But yeah, I mean, scoring. This is actually also this is like the second most important stage in scoring. It's like very close to
There's a lot
stage
of
3.
interesting planned suicides and stuff. Like on that
Yeah.
one, the wall fairies, you like suicide and then you graze and then you full power clear them. And then at the stage, you do like these like suicides and bombs and stuff.
Yeah. Like a very long time ago, I tried to do some EoSD scoring actually, and like learning stage 5 was really hard for me.
There's like all these meme-tastic like misdirection bombs or stuff going on nowadays, isn't there? Like grazes.
Oh yeah, that's like a new thing, sort of new. I don't know. It's newer than like when I really followed it much, but misdirection has like scoring potential now apparently.
Yeah, they used some bombs on it.
Hmm.
I think I'm ready for the boss.
Sakia.
Yeah.
So this is Sakia. She is the head chief maid of the castle. She's the direct servant of the mistress, and she can stop time for some reason. And although she is claimed to be human, there's a lot of people that think she's like a Lunarian or something.
What the fuck?
You never heard the theories that she's like from the moon?
Never.
Sakia has a lot of theories surrounding her. Like they used to be like the talk of the town, but not as much anymore. But there's a time where like people are like always theorizing about Sakia's backstory and stuff.
No,
Did you ever, yes, did you ever read the IN profile where apparently Aaron was like surprised to see Sakia, but only Aaron knows why?
It seems more like a time stop meme, but I don't know. Because of like eternity manipulation or something, I don't know.
Yeah, I think so too. But that was kind of like the meme. That why people thought she was a Lunarian. Yeah, she's totally 1,000 years old, and she's from the moon. Another theory I've seen is that she tried to she was a vampire hunter that tried to kill Remelia, but she lost.
Yeah.
And then the manipulation of fate made her Remelia's servant or whatever.
I do know that one, yeah.
I kind of like that one actually. It's
that
really,
one is kind of cool.
Yeah. Her design is she's a maid with knives.
Yeah. Gray hair,
Silver
knives,
hair, yeah.
Kung Fu maid, good trope.
She's got a lot of fans, a lot of dedicated fans.
A lot, yeah.
I feel like
imagine there was a time before Sanai, and imagine if those people were had to go to Sakya, then that's a lot of fans.
She's definitely very popular character, has a lot of memes and Touhou fanon. Let's not even talk about it. The elephant in the room that I don't even want. It doesn't even deserve to be talked about or even addressed.
Is there an elephant? I don't know. Okay, well, let's just not address it then.
What elephant are you referring to? Give me a hint.
Actually, just don't. Actually, don't. I don't want to know. I actually don't really know, but I don't want to know.
I mean, I think I know, but but again, I don't want to know.
It has to do with her immaterial and missing power art, and I'm gonna leave it at that.
Okay.
Yeah, no. Oh, yeah, nope.
No, we're not doing that. Okay, moving on.
Okay, move on.
Her design is really quite standard for a maid. I mean, that's all she is. I mean, I don't have much else to say about that. Her theme is badass.
I do like how dynamic she looks. Like, she's wearing all that stuff, but at the same time, it's not too much. And also in her sprite, she feels very agile.
the Zune art, her little smiles and stuff, those are meme-tastic.
Oh god, the Saki face.
She constantly has this, well, it's not really a Dio pose, but she does have that anime villain pose in her boss sprite constantly.
Yeah.
Do you know those memes where they take the face and then they copy one side and paste it to the other and they flip it horizontally? Oh my god, when I saw someone do that to Sakia and it was a meme.
Yeah.
Or even worse, the Cyclopses.
Oh god.
The Japs actually love the Sakia face. Have you seen all those tweets of the Sakia variations?
Oh no.
Look, too. I need to find some. I favorited a lot of them, so I need to just dig them up sometime.
What I mostly just like is how it's that's one of the best things of EoSD is that it also just shows up on the score screen. That was the art that Soon wanted everyone to see. When you die, when you game over or whatever, and you're super pissed, and the first thing you see is just that smug ass face staring into your soul.
And then she's in the music room too, of course.
Yeah.
She's everywhere.
It's beautiful.
So let's talk about her theme.
I love it. It's good.
Yeah. It's really
better.
badass. But it's
the
not
better Sakya team. No, maybe.
Yeah, I think
not
so
me,
too.
Actually.
Yeah, I'd say it's better than Flowering Night. Yeah.
It's not called Flowering Night.
more,
It's called Night of Nights.
No, shut up.
No.
I'm being such a bully. Oh god, if we're getting into that, just wait till we get to extra.
Oh god.
Mino, remember this video will have a comment section, so be careful.
I welcome that actually.
This is the one comment section I'm gonna look forward to because EoSD is it's probably the most popular 2 game. So
I guess.
Anyway, we gotta talk about our theme. I like the part at the beginning on the MIDI where it's just or whatever. It sounds really cool.
Yeah, wasn't there this meme that someone was practicing it in the MIDI form and they had to hear that every 5 seconds?
Yep. It actually, you don't actually hear it as much in the MP3 version or whatever, or the wave version. But you can hear it really clearly in the MIDI. There's something like that in PCB Stage 4 as well, but I'll talk about that. And
I like, I don't know if I can cover that, but I like the IAMP rearrangement. It's like one of the few tracks in IAMP that I really like. It really feels as if she's gonna stomp your balls.
it's a very desperate sounding song, isn't it? Like it has a very tense, desperate feel to it.
Kinda. It starts off kinda desperate, but after that it's, I don't know.
It's very serious as well.
Yeah.
A lot of the early Windows games have very serious sounding Stage 5 bosses, like Sakuya Yomu Racing.
Oh yeah, racing sounds super serious. Like yikes.
Yeah. True.
We can talk about that when we get to IN, I guess. So,
Yep.
yeah, I don't have any more to say about our theme, so let's talk about the gameplay.
Ugh.
Random.
Sakuya.
Random.
Oh.
Well, right off the bat, the first non. Yikes.
First non. Oh.
It's a meme of a
Like-
fight.
I would say casually she's maybe not even that bad, because usually you can just bomb the RNG away.
Yep.
But when you actually have like survival or scoring restrictions going on, it's such a lottery.
She's a boy. Yeah.
There's a lot of things you can do to not get screwed over by her, like just reading really well and stuff, but still the randomness is really, really scary.
Yeah, it's really bad. There's walls, there's like just the knives in general are really fast. Like the second non too, like it's just intense and you have to be like Marissa sometimes to slip through those walls.
Yeah, and
things
you have
bounce off the screen, they're flying in all different places. It's crazy.
you have to look everywhere the whole time.
Thankfully, aside from one of her spell cards, like they're not usually the spell cards actually. Aside from one, which we know what I'm talking about, but the spells themselves aren't that bad except for that one.
Yeah,
So
Saki's main difficulty is her non-spells and the last
Yeah.
spell. Like most of her spells are pretty easy.
Yeah, her spells are actually simple, especially if you like have a good idea of how to do them.
But I don't even have much to say about Ludo Bio.
In fact,
yeah,
like the thing about the first spell as well is that it's actually more so just a tool of setting up the second non
Yeah.
properly, so it won't be as terrible. Because when you like wait out Ludo Bile, you can make Sakya hopefully go into like one of the corners, and then the second non will be less awful. That's like a strategy that gets used a lot.
hmm
And
Yeah,
then the
it's-
world. Oh, sorry. You want to say something?
Oh, no, I was gonna just talk about how Ludo Bio is also, in my opinion, a setup for the main gimmick that you'll be seeing, like throughout the fight, where she adds on bullets.
yep.
Mm,
Time stop.
yeah.
Time stop.
Yeah. I like
Yeah.
time stop.
Oh god, but yeah, like so. Yeah, the world is like you can just like misdirect to the near the top and then move back down and dodge, and it's not too bad.
Yeah, the world should be free like 99% of the time, I think.
Yeah, and
Third non is a little bit weird.
Yeah.
It makes me uncomfortable sometimes, but it's usually okay.
Yeah, it's unnerving, but at the same time you underestimate it too. And then suddenly you have like knives everywhere and you die.
and then after that non, we have just this spell card.
Killing
Doll.
Doll is really... It's one of my favorite spells in the game, actually. I like how random it is.
I find it fun, but
it's
yikes.
It was my personal
Kryptonite.
poison. Yeah, it was my kryptonite in EoSD.
Yeah,
Like more like I might have lost like the most runs relatively to Killing Doll. Just
it's definitely really, really hectic, and it's really like that super player spell, you know? Like, where you see like all the crazy Japanese players making meme dodges on it and stuff.
yeah.
At least
It
the
gets
max
so
rank
weird.
version doesn't come from behind. The low rank version, if you die on the spell, then you can get screwed by bullets coming under you.
Yeah, that's really fun. But yeah, it just has. Yeah, that one is peak EoSD really. Just all the weird randomness.
Are you guys
It's-
ready for stage 6?
Yeah. Oh, stage 6 is yeah, I'm ready.
All right, so now we're reaching the climax. We go up to the balcony or the top of the palace or whatever, and we see the red moon and we see the mistress who's a vampire. That's the plot. The aesthetic is honestly it's just dark, foreboding. The music is very intense actually. It's like it's really serious business, you know?
Yeah, it's a very short stage portion. The music itself, the theme itself, is pretty short, but but then you get to so you just like dodge like just random patterns in the middle to decide whatever, and then you get to the ring theories and you just sidestep them, and then
We're,
Sakya comes back.
We're
yep,
going maybe a little fast. I want to say something about the music.
sure.
Oh, what's up?
Well, actually, not much. I do like that it's like very short, but it does always get the nerves going a little bit.
Oh, it does, yeah.
Especially once you're like right out of Sakya. And then you just don't have to do anything but listen to that music.
Yeah, it's a very nerve-wracking song, especially on
Yeah.
like Ellen in pace, which I have been a few times on stage 6. It just ugh.
Yeah. Some are even worse in that regard, but this one does quite the job at it.
PCB kind of does that to me as well.
I just, oh, stop. I
Yeah.
don't know, IN just
Yeah.
drives me insane when that happens.
So,
Get out of foliage.
we're gonna talk about Sakya again.
Yeah, you said she was one of the more. She had that really iconic spell or whatever that you wanted to
Yeah, yeah, Eternal Meek. I like it it's because like just the nature of the Eternal Meek. Like she's like out of options. Like she wants to do her best to protect her
Make you waste the
mistress,
bomb.
and yet yeah, make you waste the bomb. She just ran out of options, and I just find Eternal Meek is just like like she had all these flashy patterns of knives and kunai, and then now she's just firing like random round bullets. It's like. I find that like honestly, just because she's just like she doesn't know what else to do.
I like
Maybe,
that.
maybe it's kind of a Dio thing again, where like her patterns in stage 5 were a lot more like assertive and badass, and then like her last patterns are just very desperate and radish, just like how Dio kind of turns out to be nothing more than a rat.
Eternal Meek is the most basic thing you could code in Danmakufu. 360 random spam.
Yeah.
Different speeds. That's the entire spell. There's nothing else to it other than
Well,
that.
random velocities
And then there's a
as
safe
well.
spot, which is pretty meme-tastic that it even exists.
It's a good safe spot.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, the thing with the safe spot, though, is that almost all of the difficulty of it comes from the non before it, because you have to do it so quickly
Yeah.
after the non.
I do
That's-
hate though that like the safe spot can fool you into thinking you're safe and then kill you later.
Oh, it's safe. Oh, wait, I died.
Yeah, because of, like, the different bullet velocities and the way that the safe spot works. Like, if you get slower bullets on the angle that you are, then you can suddenly still die because one of those bullets was just so much slower than all the bullets before it. But yeah, I think that's all I can also just say about the midboss. I guess it's just
Yeah.
really random again.
I like how in the Eternal Meek the soundtrack resets, and then like the beginning of stage 6 story goes on with Meek while you're dodging it. That's all I can really say about that. So
Yeah, and like the stage itself, there's not too much there. Just a bunch of random bullets and some rings you need to stream.
all right, now I think we should talk about the oh boy, this
Big boss.
Remelius
bit-
Scarlet.
the true big cheese is the SDM, and it's a midget. Nah, I like Remy.
Yeah, Remelius Scarlet is. Wow, we haven't even hit the 2 hour mark. It feels like it's been like 5 hours.
Time
know
flies
that's
and you're having fun. No, I don't
The
know.
opposite.
Okay, so Remy, a fan favorite for sure.
Yeah, she's definitely a well-known character. She's the first Windows final boss. She's got a really cool, dynamic design. She's a vampire. You know?
She's a Arari vampire.
I also really like how Zune implemented her special ability, aka the manipulation of fate. He did that in a very creative and intriguing fashion. But we'll get to that later, I think.
Oh, I know what you're going on about. Um, the
I'm sorry, I
lore,
threw you off. Yeah.
the lore is that she's a vampire, so she can't go out in the sun. So she wants to make Insokyo more habitable to her. So she just selfishly made the red mist, which I can respect that. She just wants to go outside more often and not have to stick to the night. So
Yeah, it's like it's kind of nice if you think about it. Like so many people just cannot be arsed to go outside, but she really doesn't have the possibility, so she just makes the possibility. Like she is alpha.
Making Sokyo great again.
it's really not a complicated plot, which is pretty. It's pretty interesting. These older games. It's just a vampire wants to block out the sun. Yeah.
Pretty much.
The theme.
I like it.
Oh, the theme, aka the most #1 rated song of all the Touhou popularity polls.
Isn't that? I thought that was Border of Life.
No, it's this.
No,
It's Septet.
it's
Oh.
it's either this or UNO, and they both go back and back. So
I
Alright.
can't tell if it's just because of it's the first, final boss theme, and or it's a good theme. It's definitely fitting of Vermilion and very memorable. It fits the mood. It's very tense,
It's yeah.
and it has a reference to, I think, Beethoven.
Sort of, yeah.
Kinda, yeah.
You know, the da 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 bum bum da 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 da. I'll stop.
Yeah.
There's a
You're
song
correct.
that
Yeah.
I don't know what the name of it is.
Me neither. It's like Symphony 9 or whatever,
That's
like all those symphonies.
It's a blatant reference, though. It definitely is.
But yeah. What else can I really say about it? I don't know. For like how simple, maybe that's more of an aesthetics thing as well, but like the background is just kind of simple if you think about it. It just looks like a
It's
picture
just
with a
a
moon
moon.
that is somewhat red.
And then it
And the
grows
spell
way
cards.
bigger in the spell card.
Yeah, and just spins around, and that's just kind of it.
Her-
But in some way, it still sets the mood quite well.
Her entire fright is literally just red. Like, she'll use blue and yellow sometimes, but most of everything she ever does is just red.
Yeah, red and white.
Maybe that's just because of the Scarlet Mist. Everything just looks red. Never thought of that.
Well, she's
Didn't-
I guess you could call Vermilion the embodiment of Scarlet Devil.
Ah ha ha ha.
All right, that was the podcast. Thank you for watching. Bye bye. Bye,
Yep.
bro.
Didn't Minus T do the animation of Remy's
Oh,
fight?
that was really cool.
Very good, very good.
Everyone and their mother has seen it, but it's really still cool to point out.
If you haven't watched it for some strange reason, then I recommend you watch it.
So now it's time to talk about the gameplay, I think.
Yeah.
The manipulation of fate.
I'm not a
Yeah.
fan of Remy's fight. Like, she has some nice patterns, but
She
Too-
is, for a lot of people, she's just too random.
yeah, too random for my taste.
It's interesting to note that since this is the first Windows final boss, Zune sets a bit of a precedent where all of the non-spells are very different from each other. And the last non-spell is even cool because it has that.
Oh my god.
There's a thing about her going invincible for a bit, and it's just unique.
Yeah.
Spells are quite something.
Yeah, each aside from one of them, the rest of them are just ugh. And the one I'm talking about is the second one, which is Needle Mountain. That's so, like even then, that one can also be kind of annoying at times too.
Even that one can sometimes get very strange. Yeah.
So-
Yeah, so
What were you talking about? Her manipulation of fate?
Yeah.
she does that pretty well, doesn't she?
Yeah. She's very good at it.
Yeah, it was creatively implemented in her fight where she can throw a wall or give you a really bullshit situation and change your fate
Yeah,
That's the
instantly
gimmick.
whenever she feels like it. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's a
that's the
feature.
gimmick.
Yeah, it's a feature.
No wonder it makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense now.
Yeah,
It,
it's just
it's
walls.
but it's the interesting part is how you can just get screwed over at a moment's notice. Like you're fine, and then suddenly everything goes wrong. You know?
Yeah, suddenly it's just, oh hey, big fucking wall. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Understand, bro. Have a nice day.
But yeah, I don't know how much deeper I can really go in on that. It's mostly it's especially bad on Scarlet against Okio. Like that pattern just can do things.
Scarlet Gensoki and Scarlet Meister are very, very iconic spells. They're the
Mm-hmm.
one of the most memorable spells in the game, and it's Deadly Duo. Meister has it's really
Sounds
insane with
hyped.
how it works. It's very fast. It's got a lot of movement involved. It's got a lot of randomness involved. It's a very intense spell card, if anything.
Meister is super intense, yeah. And like dodging it is really fun.
Yep.
Yeah, and then you've got
Dying to it, not so much.
I actually like Meister quite a bit. I find it intense. So
you've got the Vampire Illusion, the infamous walls, in which it is a bit. It's iconic in a way, especially when you see like all those like world records or LNN runs make that the micro TM
Mm-hmm. Yeah, where
like
like a wall gets
cactus
thrown
run.
at them, and then they micro through
They
it.
just go through it. It's badass.
no
Yeah.
fucks given.
And then let's talk about the elephant in the room, Scarlet and Sokio. It's like the
Mm,
embodiment of this
Pardon me.
game.
I actually like
Yeah.
Scarlet and Soccer quite a bit. It's probably one of my favorite final spells in the series.
It does represent the game really well. It's very random. It's very red. It's very
Bubbly.
bubbly. Yeah.
Big
The
bubbles.
twisting turning thing. It's Scarlet and Sokio is like a really long endurance test. It's not like most other final spells, which are phases. It's just endurance.
Mm-hmm. It
And
also has random movement.
it's so dense too. Obviously it's the final spell, and it's killed a lot of Elenins and world records and
Yeah.
stuff. I lost an Elenin to Scarlet and Sokio once.
Yeah, a lot of the
I
I've seen
did it like at least twice, I think. It's yeah.
I've seen countless streams of there's like LNB attempts, score runs, LNN
Just
attempts, or
everything.
everything. Like even just one CC, Scarlet and Soccer just ruins it all.
Yeah, it also has the bomb invincibility, so it really fucks with, even newer players getting into it.
Better luck next time. I
You
mean
like
that.
it's just so scary. Like when I like doing first one CCs and stuff. Like Scarlet and Soccer was just so scary. Like yikes.
But it's definitely one of the hardest final bosses out there. She's on
It's yeah.
par with Junko.
Mm-hmm. A
Yeah.
bad Tramilia is obviously like worse even than a bad Junko. Honestly.
Mm-hmm.
A bad Junko, like what can that even really do if you think about it? It's like Spirit World and maybe a few other patterns that can get a little harder, but
The
bad
last
Tramilia. Bad Tramilia is just wall after wall after wall. Yeah, that's true, last non. But yeah.
Yeah. It's definitely. I think that her fight is fitting for her, though. It definitely fits her. I
It
just.
fits her yeah, it fits her ability.
Yeah, but also in her personality. Like, it just works. Even if
I
I
guess,
hate
yeah.
the fight. Well, I don't hate it, but it's a little bit unpleasant at the end of a run.
I mean,
But
she is also really. I mean, as a character, she's also really meant to just be really arrogant and brutal and just do whatever the fuck she wants, sort of.
She's
So
Queen
that does
Smug.
work.
She's smug. Smug, smug, smug.
it,
Yeah,
the fight is very scary, but I think that's what leaves an impression on the player. It's what makes EoSD EoSD. To have this really tense, scary fight at the end of the game, it works.
and it just screws over everyone, like you said. That's also fun. Like no matter what level, it will always stay a pretty hard fight.
It's the grand finale.
Mm-hmm.
But wait, there's more. You know, there's
Oh yeah, that
extras.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, after you get the normal or higher 1cc, you see the extra stage option. Like you can select it now. Yay!
I've been holding off on showing the extra replay until now. I've just been playing like all the other ones over and over again. So,
Extra, man.
extra. The
I haven't
lore.
done that one in a while.
The lore is something like Romelia and Saki are off visiting the shrine, and there's chaos at the mansion. How Reimu and Marissa know about the chaos, why Reimu leaves the two unattended at her shrine, I don't know. But for whatever reason, they go to the mansion one more time to see the truth behind everything, I guess.
The truth behind everything.
I don't know. The truth behind the mansion, the secret.
I mean, sort of. It's
It's-
their big secrets, big little secrets, I
Yeah,
guess.
it's the final hidden secret of the mansion.
Mhm.
And they meet Pacholi on the way, who's in good health, so she shows you some really cool spell cards.
Check this out, yo.
Yeah.
The aesthetic is the stupid stage 5 background. At least it has better colors and extra.
I guess.
The
yeah.
music is really... The music is funky.
It's very up.
It's
It's
super
it's
funky.
it's upbeat. It's very upbeat. So yeah.
Yeah. It's also definitely one of my favorite stage themes in EoSD.
Now you just love the part that happens, like, it's during Pacholi, the
Royal Flare.
And then the Royal Yeah, that part. And it's always during Royal Flare, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if
Yeah.
Zoom even timed it that way.
I hope he did because it's just
I
so
don't
fun
know.
to hear that.
But yeah, it's always during like Royal Flare and Philistone.
Now I'm getting flashbacks of that Obama video.
Yeah, me too.
It's so good.
I was almost gonna say like we should link that. Well, now I said it, so probably should.
So what happened in the Obama video again?
Yeah, the Royal Flare Obama video. Yeah.
No, the video about the theme, and when the good part of the theme kicks in, and then it's like
There's
it
one
shows
guy
like a
dancing.
meme dance. Yeah.
This
Yeah, oh,
guy
yeah,
just
I remember that
breaking-
now.
Yeah, he just breaking it down at like triple speed.
It's such a good part of the song, though. I love it. It makes my
Yeah.
day every time I hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Good times.
So as a gameplay perspective, the stage
I like watching.
I know.
I like watching the squirrel. The squirrel ones over there. That one's the section.
you have the little safe spots.
Yeah, those are so cool.
On like the big power fairies at the beginning. That
Yes,
shoot like red bullets.
yes, those guys.
Yeah.
Also, extra lets you POC.
Yeah, that's nice. You can just POC from the start.
I mean, I like the part. There's an iconic thing that every new player does. You know what I'm talking about? The part before Pacholi where there's all those fairies, and then everybody times that full power clear so that they don't have to dodge it. It's really cute.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's
that's
cute.
true. Everyone does that. Like,
It-
When I
it's
first
like-
did
It's like beginner 101.
yeah, but when I first, I didn't do ERC extra until I LNB'd UFO, but I never knew about that because I did the stage grind for the most part. So
And then we've got our first Death Fairy, which is really scary when you're a newer player. I used to hate that fairy.
that thing was really spooky, yeah, because it
Yeah.
shot really fast bullets and you had to read ahead or you just couldn't tell what was gonna happen.
And then we've got Pacholi, who's got some pretty cool spells. Silent Celine is not that memorable to me, though, compared to the other two.
I do like how flashy it is. For EoSD,
Yeah.
it covers a lot of the screen and it's really like colorful and stuff. Because sometimes I find EoSD's patterns to be a little more basic than what you see in PCB and IN and everything after that. And well, Celine gets more towards that later area, I feel.
yeah, Silent Serene is from General Survival. It's probably the least number of patches, extra spells, but from a scoring standpoint, most of your sets are going to be due to Silent
Oh,
Serene
right,
RNG.
all the bombing and stuff for the star items.
Yep,
And the Greys
mainly the Greys, but yeah.
with Master Spark. Royal
And then-
Flare.
Use Mercer A in the middle. There you go.
Royal
Yeah.
Flare is so cool. It's such a long spell. If you like, if you time it out, it doesn't like loop or anything. It keeps doing new things. It's like a fully programmed spell from start to finish, and it just I like it. It's really nice. It's really pretty.
Sick. Yeah, it's really sick.
Oh, don't want to get to the boss yet. Gonna reset that replay until we're done.
We don't want to see the
reset like 3 times.
You know who.
Yeah. What did I want to say again about Royal Flare? Oh yeah, it is really hard though if you're like new to the extra.
Oh yeah,
You
so
don't
that's
know
why
how
you
to do
choose
it.
Marsa A, so you don't have to dodge it.
I guess you just sit in the middle and win. Yeah.
So on Philosopher's Stone, is it really true that if you start up close to her and move down, it gets easier, or is that like an old wives' tale?
That's only an SA. If you just sit in the middle, like it's easier dodging for the SA variation, but for the spell itself in the original game, it's really not that crazy.
I was taught by, I think, Robin LSL or someone that you needed to start high and move down gradually or something.
I only know that from SA, not from EoSD.
Yeah, EoSD, you just dodge.
Yeah.
I think you might have like thought that the SA method applied to EoSD for some reason. I don't know.
It's a pretty cool spell. She uses a bunch of elements together. Although, actually, is it really that cool? It just kind of there, isn't it?
I do like how colorful it is. Again,
It's more
and it's also fun to take like all the different kinds of stuff that are coming in towards you into consideration.
It's more impressive in SA though, but you know.
I actually like the difference in bullet types on SA. That makes you even more. It makes you think even more about all the different sorts of patterns that are flying at you.
Yeah, it's like it's a combination of everything that she's used against you. So
I'm actually pretty surprised that Zune just went with the needles and nothing else. Like, if she's supposed to be using all the elements against you, why is she just firing needles?
Yeah, because that's like the final spell card that you're gonna experience for Patchy, and so it's
like
nice that it's like her. It's the most iconic spell. Well, no, it's I wouldn't say it's the most iconic spell, but it's definitely her most. It's like her trump card, so to speak. So.
Yeah. Exactly. Then after that, you get books again and some really aggressive.
Don't forget the wall fairies.
Yeah, you have really aggressive wall fairies.
I really like
really
that.
Easy.
It's really they're easy, but it's a surreal experience when you're a newer player. And to be honest, I actually kind of wish I could be a newer player sometimes, because a lot of these iconic feelings you get from dodging these patterns, you don't really get anymore with modern day extras. You know, after you get to a certain skill level, those impressions are lost.
That's a thing as well, that's a thing with that pattern specifically, and what I kind of like about extras. I like when extras are really route heavy. So, like, you don't need to be amazing, or, like, you don't need to be lunatic level dodging to get through it. But then, like, everyone can get a shot at it, and some might do it a little faster. But as long as you have done normal 1cc, you can get a shot at it. It will be hard, but you can do that.
Yeah.
That's what I really like. This is, like, the best thing to make very routey.
Definitely PCB has that, too, with its crazy streaming, but obviously I'll talk about that in the PCB episode. Yeah, the books aren't as bad in EoSD, but I think they're cute. And obviously, did I just say the books aren't as bad as in EoSD?
Yes, you did.
The books aren't as bad as in Stage 4 Lunatic, but obviously it's extra, so it shouldn't be as bad.
Yep. Because extra is usually, for the most part, between normal and hard in difficulty.
I like how they come back at the end and just go crazy. They, like, freak out.
Oh, yeah, that's fun. Yeah.
And then at the end of the stage, you just have a random extend. I don't know why Zune didn't just do score extends.
I don't know.
Like, why is there just a random one-up of the last fairy? That's so weird.
Yeah, EoSD extra actually gave some of the resources.
If you would use normal score extends or something, then it would get a lot of lives, though. For extra.
I mean, of course he'd modify them, because, you know, he modified them enough, so...
He does that, okay, true.
Imagine if you just didn't kill that fairy. I've never not killed it, though, so I guess it's not really an issue, is it?
I don't know.
Shouldn't be.
Yeah, I don't know how you can miss it.
All right.
The
So,
moment we've been dreading.
yep. I don't think I'm dreading it. I'm actually kind of excited to talk about
I'm
Flandre.
I'm I'm joking. I like Frondra too, but but
She is the sister of Scarlet Devil, little sister of Amelia. The lore is that she was locked in the basement for 495 years because she can't control her powers, which is complete garbage because I'm sure after 400 years you'd think someone would learn how to control their power or that they'd find some other solution rather than shoving your sister in a basement forever and then just not letting her interact with the outside world at all. But apparently Flandra actually respects her sister and doesn't mind.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
Flandre is weird. Like, she apparently has the discipline with that kind of power that she has to, not destroy the basement or
It's a
everything or
it's
anything.
it's a convenient plot device as to why the world
Yeah,
isn't destroyed yet.
yeah, it's really weird.
She's very crazy, but she wants to play a lot, but yet she's somehow mature enough not to destroy everything. I don't know.
Yeah,
It doesn't. I can see what people mean by the later Touhou games having better plots. Because,
yeah.
in hindsight, a lot of these earlier game concepts are just weird. But she has a
Like,
really cool design.
I mean, yeah,
those wings,
especially
man.
she has really nice wings. Yeah, those are super iconic as well for like
Yeah,
all
with
of
the
Toho.
crystals, yeah. And she's got like the red dress and the blonde hair with the little side ponytail. She's isn't she like the most waifued character in all of Toho? Or is that Marissa?
It's
That's
it,
Sakia
it's
probably.
it's Reimu actually. Reimu's the most
Because
waifu character.
Flandra is definitely a huge fan favorite. Like even non-Toho fans know who Flandra is because of
Everyone knows, yeah, because
yeah,
she's the creepy remix girl.
she's
I've
the
met so many people that are not Toho fans, and then all of them have like a huge Frondra correction. So
she's the gothic vampire lolly, you know?
yeah, with blonde hair,
Yeah.
that's a huge component as well.
Like it's such a cool design. She's got like the Levantine spear, and she even uses it in the fight. You know, when she's slashing at you, it's overall a really cool boss design. I mean, Flandra is lovely in her own
I,
right,
she's cool.
and her theme. It's cool. It's badass. It's overrated. It's overplayed. It's overflated. It's used in like everything ever. But you know what? I'm not gonna let that ruin my interpretation of the song or impression of the song. Like, I still like the song. I think it's badass.
Yeah, but have you heard of this small little indie art piece called Death Waltz? I'm sorry.
Why?
I had to make it, so I had to make that terrible joke so that the comments didn't. Actually, the comments will still do it, but whatever.
Death,
Maybe I made it worse. Maybe I catalyzed it. But
Death Waltz.
alright.
And then you see the people doing covers on it, and they unironically call it Death Waltz because they don't know better. And then there's another thing, another meme with the song. It has to do with a certain American clown.
I was gonna say that Devora
What?
behind Frondra, it's that she's best friends with Ronald McDonald.
It doesn't
Oh,
help
that
that
clown. Yeah.
Flandra's color scheme is yellow and red. Because she's got the red
Yeah.
dress and the yellow hair, and then the McDonald's. Oh no.
Hey, it's what made Toho big, maybe.
We live in a
How
society.
many views does Mackerel have by now after like 12 years? Let's
Oh
see.
god. Oh no. Don't. Oh my god.
I'm gonna look. 2008. Okay, it's like a little
Is
more than 10, but okay.
Nick Roll isn't even the first Ronald McDonald remix either, is it? Because isn't the first one
No,
like Gygas or whatever?
Probably.
Yeah.
it's got 5 million views. It's not. I expected more, even honestly.
Holy
But
shit,
okay.
the Kagame strats are lit, by the way.
Oh yeah. I'd say it's like. I'd say it's like like Babby's first two meme video.
Yeah.
It's either that or Marissa Store the
And
Precious Thing. So
to be fair, it's also an older meme. So like probably
yes.
70% of those views were from like more than 5 years ago. Or
Yep.
something.
But the
But yeah.
theme is just so badass. I love the blaring whatever they're called, those electrical instruments that scream at you the entire
Hmm.
fight. It just sounds so cool,
It's very spoopy in its own way.
and the melody is really good. It's memorable.
Uh-huh.
Anyone can remember it and sing it.
Dun, dun,
Dun,
dun,
dun.
dun, dun, dun,
Yeah,
dun, dun. Oh god, I like it. It's a good theme. So
But I want to say, yeah, it has a very nice rhythm to it at the beginning.
yeah.
It's a nice mind fuck, especially if you are not super acknowledge the music. It's just like, well, what's going on?
This is one of those cases too where I find that the EoSD instrumentation really does the song justice. Like I even
Hmm.
feel like if this original of this song was made in a modern Touhou game, it might not actually fit as much.
What
That
I mean, also I'm sorry that I'm starting about CD rearrangements again, but like in Dawson Pseudo
oh
Paradise,
yeah,
it also has very little change in instrument, while
but
most of the other EOSD songs do.
but
They
isn't
get
it like a higher
rearranged.
pitch as well? Dolls in Pseudo Paradise has higher pitch for the song.
A little bit maybe, but the instrument isn't different. It's the same still. I know it's weird. Like the rearrangement is very simple. It's like slightly higher. That's all I can tell. But yeah.
So let's talk about the gameplay. It's the first Windows Extra, and the nons themselves aren't anything notable. The spells are very, very memorable. You know, you've got the Cranberry Trap, where you've got its own gimmick, where you have to know where to go, know how to misdirect it, know how to go through the lanes. You've got Levatine, which is really badass and creative, and you spin around and stuff. You've got not Maze of Love. You got the Four of a
four of a kind.
Kind.
Yeah.
You
Or
know,
just, or
Yeah,
it's cool. She crones herself, and then it's just nice when and it's pretty. And then I like how in scoring, four of a kind, you have to like go into it with not max power, kill one of the crones, and then cancel out the your boards when you pick up the big power item. Found that pretty cool.
I actually used to
Flandre,
really think that it was a scary spell back then.
but yeah, that's also what I really like about Flandre is that again she has more of that really like pattern going on instead of random spam happening.
Yeah, and also Cranberry Trap is a infamous spell for most first timers because like it's completely you can route it, but then people are like, oh, you can't fucking do it.
It's
And
funny as Remue.
yeah,
Your homing shots hit the familiars.
oh yeah, it's a meme of anyway. That's for sure.
Lefatine is really nice. It looks rad. It's really cool to do, especially as a newer player. You just feel so
Mm-hmm.
badass.
15 is pretty good.
Kagame I really like too. It's really
Me
scary
too.
how you're trapped in that little cage and then you've got like everything collapsing around you. The scoring method is really cool too. You guys gotta see that sometime.
You saw the Izumiko 678 was it? No, he does it on all the runs, doesn't he? Yeah, he does it in such a scary way, but it's just so cool to watch.
Maze of Love. Oh boy. This
That's
is one of the most iconic spells in Touhou, I think.
mm,
Probably,
you say
maybe.
it, I never really think much about it, even for Flandre. I just know that it's really
Like
tedious, though.
Back
the
then,
Flounder
at least, it
spell,
was a meme.
Mm.
like they're like
Usually,
you were saying
well, usually for Flandre, it's like Lefatine, and her
QED.
survival, and then sometimes QED.
Yeah,
Now,
So like her most iconic ones.
Maze of Love was always that considered that really insane spell where the spinning was too difficult, so people would find like ways to memorize tap it from the bottom. And, they'd
Oh,
make their
like
own
that.
strats and
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah, but
yeah,
it's
okay.
actually a really fun spell. I like the whole concept.
it's good.
It's good, yeah.
Starbro
What I
Break.
Oh, I want to say what I like to do on Maze of Love is to only spin the first wave and then go into the weird micro tapping stuff. Or like, yeah, I do one spin and then I start microing. Oh yeah.
Nice. Starbro Break has that really famous safe spot at the top left.
Yeah, you can just
So
sit
yeah,
there and do
It's
nothing.
like all the
yeah,
bullets spawn the same way, but they fall at different speeds, which is what the randomness is. It's really pretty epic to dodge. I like how it discourages full bottom hugging. You know, you gotta be a little bit higher on the screen, or you're gonna get walled.
yeah.
The kaleidoscope spell I actually really don't like. I think it's really boring, and
Dioptric.
yeah,
Cadioptric or whatever.
you just stay
Yeah.
on the side, the right, and
You stay on the side and you hope nothing flies in your face. That's kind of the whole card.
yeah, I'm not really a fan of it.
I like it visually. It's got like nice effects going on,
Yeah.
but as a card, it's just weird.
Ca- The last on spell is pretty meme worthy. It just rapidly
Yeah.
fired lanes at you.
I mean, that's the one thing that I guess I dislike the most about Flan. Her non-spells are very meh. Just kind of really
Yeah.
pointless rings, and they don't really provide anything interesting, neither in pattern or in gameplay, at least as far as I can tell.
Yeah, they're all boring.
Hmm.
Yeah, the nons are not notable at all.
Counterclock is really cool.
I love Counterclock, but
I
I
like
hate it
how
too.
there's the memorized intervals where the lasers can't kill you, so you make routes around that. I always thought when I was a newer player how scary the red bullets were when they get really fast and they aim at you. I used to not be able to handle
Oh
those.
yeah, yeah, true. I thought that Counterclock was like the hardest card in Extra, actually. Just because of stuff like that. It's just like, well, how do you do that? But yeah, it looks very nice as well. It's got that later Touhou vibe again. And then, of course, the survival.
Yep. The first survival attack in all of Touhou.
Hmm.
Well, I mean,
No, I'm not
Ellie.
counting Piece 98. Wait.
Okay, fine, fine.
It's something, all right. I like this. I don't really care much for the first phase.
I find the first phase really funny because it's so weird. It just feels wrong.
If you move wrong, you can really screw yourself over and have to make meme-tastic recoveries.
Yeah,
I think my LP had to do
it's
that.
it's very un-Touhou as well because Touhou tends to put a lot of like elegance and symmetry and quote unquote fairness in its patterns, and then you just have QED, which is like, yeah, I'll just make lines of balls, and they can just kind of pop up from anywhere. And sometimes you just get stuck if you move the wrong way. Haha.
That's not QED. That's
No, I mean,
and then
and
there
then
were
there were
none.
none.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at least the part with the shapes is really, really cool. I love it. And I like how you have to
Yeah.
go back into the center on the last wave. It's so
Hmm.
good. It's so good. And then QED. Oh boy, this spell. I've seen people say that it represents Flandre crying or something.
Hmm.
What?
Because
She
she's
seems
locked
fine
in
after the
Phantom.
end. Oh yeah, I guess.
I like that theory, I guess.
It's a ring, and it bounces.
And it can just kind of come from anywhere at the top.
But like the last phase is so iconic, especially first time ever playing it. You always have those memories of flailing around and just trying to get through the craziness,
Hmm.
and the timeout phase, and it just. I don't actually really like the spell itself, but I like the memories it has
Yeah.
associated with it. I think it's actually
I
kind of a stupid spell to dodge.
I think it's stupid as well, but like the brutality in it is very fun.
Yeah.
Just the way that it wants you to dodge things, especially if you go and wait for the timeout.
I've
I
always
find it enjoyable to dodge. It's probably my favorite pattern in the extra, just because it's just like pure random dodging.
I've always liked how those old extra stages always have those timeout phases because it really features the power levels of the characters themselves. Like, it's fitting.
Yeah. I like those timeout phases. Just this optional, hey, fuck you. Just in case you can do like everything in the game. Here's something you definitely will never do.
It's definitely like a fuck you to people that like they just like do the first phase, like they just do nothing but the first phase. Like I
Oh
can pan it
yeah,
out this way.
yeah. Like, I can wait this out. I'm so intelligent, and then that part happens.
Yep.
That's true.
It's a reminiscence of the Gengetsu thing.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. But that was a full pattern change. But yeah.
So as a fight, it's really fun. It's not that hard of a fight overall, but I mean it definitely leaves an impression.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't have anything else to say about Flandre.
Neither do I. I think we touched
Yeah.
everything we could.
There's not too much to say about her, but yeah, her fight is just very solid and nice.
And she's super cute, so that's awesome too.
Do we have anything? Oh, I put on the template to talk about the ending and the staff role themes.
Oh no, I'm not spoiling it. I'm not gonna spoil.
Spoilers, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I can say that I really like the staff role.
Yeah, staff
Yeah.
was
I
great.
guess. She was very happy and like rejoicing.
They're both really iconic themes. I will say a lot about Sakura Sakura though, regardless of spoilers.
Hmm.
It's a good theme. So yeah.
So now we're getting to the almost at the end of the podcast. The first part is overall general thoughts on the overall story and characters. I'll start first. I don't really think the story is that compelling, but I don't think it has to be that compelling, as it is just the first game. You know, it's very simplistic and archaic, but I think that's what gives it that old timey feel, and I like that. Um, but I'm not gonna say that the plot is intelligible or anything like that. The characters are very memorable, though. I like how most of them all live in the same mansion and all have this dynamic. It's one of the reasons why the EoSD cast is so loved. It's the same thing that SA has. It's because all of the characters are like a family. They get grouped
That's
together,
true, yeah. It's very cozy in that regard.
and that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, I guess I wouldn't really add much to that either.
Zian?
I was gonna say that. Well, I like the cast. I find them to be. I mean, it makes sense. They're the most like popular cast because first Windows game, and they definitely have the most memes and depth about them. But I like the characters for the most part from stage 3 on. I don't. Rumi is cute, but that's all she is to me. And but everyone else is. The way itself, I don't really care too much about stories and Touhou games. Aside from, I'm more of a gameplay person, but the story itself is pretty okay. So, not much to say.
All right. General thoughts on the overall aesthetic of the game. I don't. I mean, it definitely has that old school feel to it. No hitbox, all those old sprites and graphics. It's not that pretty of a game, but again,
Yeah.
there's something special about. Like, I will actually admit that this is pure nostalgia speaking, but I like the old graphics of it. They're not as ugly as PC 98, but they're just archaic enough to have that really nice nostalgic feel to it.
Pretty much. I like. I always found the game a little ugly, but at the same time, it has like. It's like it kind of recalls those aesthetic feels, like the way Vaporwave would do or whatever. Just not to the same extent, but it does get that weird, like, feeling of the past, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you like, even if you only know the game much later than 2002 or 2003.
The overall music of the game, it has. I don't really
I find the
care
music pretty
as
unique
much as
in like all of Touhou, gotta say.
Like, I don't really care as much for this game's OSTs compared to the later games, but it has
Hmm.
a few gems, like Locked Girl, Septet, Yunoen, Luna Dial.
Yeah.
Ground Cherry.
Yeah.
I actually like most of the tracks. This might actually be my least listened OST for Touhou for the Windows ones, maybe. But I do like how unique it is, and
It's
it's like it's also in this very weird transition time between like Seiho and maybe PC98 Touhou, but mainly like when he was working on Seiho and what would come later with PCB and IM.
yeah. This is very sexy OST if you listen to the SC88 version, and Romantic TP has it on YouTube, so everyone listen to that. It's really good.
Epic shout out of nowhere.
Zian,
Epic.
your thoughts on the music?
I like the music. I like basically there's not really a total theme I dislike, and each game that I appreciate and enjoy listening to, but just hearing the soundtracks in general for Touhou is just nice to me. And EoSD doesn't have one of my favorite soundtracks, but it doesn't have one of my least favorite ones either. It's just like in the center, I guess, with Our Souls Grounds the Red Cherry, the library, Rock Go, and so on. Like those streams like reach out to me and stuff, and so I guess I can give the music a 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10, something like that.
What?
It's a good
Oh,
it's
I
a
didn't
good
even.
soundtrack.
I'm not gonna give it a number
I'm not
rating.
gonna go into numbers.
You don't have to go into
It's not gonna end
numbers.
well. No.
Nah, I'm probably gonna get thracked, but I'll definitely take the risk.
So
No.
can I just get your social security number real quick?
No. Now we're gonna get to the meat of the bones. General thoughts on overall gameplay, difficulty, fun of the game. I I like how random it is. If I just want to dodge bullets, I'll play EoSD. The difficulty, it's fun and chaotic. I'm not the biggest fan of games that are too hard, le hard bullet hells, but, it turns me off a bit, things like books and Amelia being so crazy. But, I mean, I can still appreciate it for what it does right, and when I do play this game, I have a lot of fun with it, and that's what matters.
It's a demon game sometimes. Like if you play it too much, it will get really frustrating.
Yeah, it's one of those things you can really enjoy in small doses, but it's a really demoralizing game, especially for high tier goals like LNN and a lot of the people that score though they seem to really like the game, so I don't really think they have that problem.
They even meme about the misfortunes they encounter in the game, so like always six, never see. So yeah,
It's a torturous LNN category.
Oh yeah.
One of the hardest ones.
Yeah.
Debatably the hardest, but I still find LOL-K harder. But
And probably the most infuriating.
I'd say it's probably the most infuriating. Like yikes. My thoughts on the game itself. I think it's okay. I'm not a fan of as Mino said. It's too random for me. I enjoy my patterns. Really, it's like I said before, like more consistent and quote unquote fair in difficulty. Like you can get difficult stuff, but it's still like doable. But like when you get random familiar walls, like that's not fun. I prefer, so the randomness definitely turns me off from the game, and that's why I don't play it too often after my Lunatic 1cc. I could definitely I haven't bothered on being too many games aside from my favorites, but if I ever did EoSD LNB, I think I do it pretty quickly, but it's just I don't enjoy it too much, but it's still I respect it, so that's what matters.
Trivia section. Talk about. I don't want to get too much into that because I'm tired.
We already talked about Rin Satsuki. She was the third playable character, but Zune scrapped her out. But he did draw her in Zune style before, but it's not in color. Well, it is in color actually, but
isn't that art confirmed by one of the artists to not actually be Rin Satsuki? Like one of the people from Common Cat was like, "That's not actually her."
Just a girl.
Yeah. But it might as well be her because she's synonymous with that at this point. Ren Satsuki is an amazing meme in the fact that she gets basically no canon love because she doesn't really exist in the lore. She's just unused content. But in the fanon, she's like in every fan game. She's got all these themes and fan art. Like, fans will eat that shit up. Like, they will go full out with it, even if you, as a creator, don't do stuff like that. In fact, I think the reason why people go crazy with her is just for the simple fact that she is so, mysterious and unused.
She's Mercer and Ramu's Rothschild.
9A13, D5.14.
Yes.
End rating of the game, how it holds up with the series.
I mean, it's.
How it
I mean,
holds
it's
up?
even to this day, it's still one of the most played games because
It's the Touhou. If
I
you know
think
the
it's-
Touhou, it's this game.
I always think that people who start Touhou should play this game. And I know you can start any game, but I think that EoSD is the best first Touhou for anyone because it has that ancient feel to it, but simplistic feel as well because there isn't any fancy ass mechanics. It's a raw game. Everything about this game is raw, and I think that's what you should have on your first experience with Touhou. You know,
yeah, I agree with you. I
Yeah.
think that EOSD, like every time someone talks about, like, yeah, which my first two game? But yeah, I'm like, oh, you should definitely. I give them like EOSD is always the one that I risked because it's definitely the most simple of the Windows games. And then its normal mode it's not the most difficult normal, but it's still an engaging normal mode. So I recommend them try out normal, see how it goes, and then there's not. Of course, they probably stop after stage 4, but you know what I mean. But yeah.
Yeah, I do think that there are like few certain things in terms of interest. Like if someone really wants a very like impressive looking bullet hell, I would maybe not recommend USD because
IN,
the patterns
say.
aren't that explosive.
Yeah,
I would
PCB,
say
IN.
IN, MOF, if they're really challenging or whatever, then maybe LOL-K. But like EOSD is not really the game for that. But if you are gonna play all of them, then usually it's a good start.
I think it holds up. I mean, it's definitely aged well. I don't think that
Mhm.
it's a bad game in its own right. It's certainly very popular and, it's a classic, that's what it is. That's how it holds up in the series. As for a rating, I don't want to give number ratings because I'd have to really think about that.
Yeah, maybe
Yeah,
you
let's not
shouldn't
give
do
it a
that.
number rating,
Oh,
but
that's too hard. And I'll get hate mail if I rate anything below a 7 or something. So
I was probably just gonna give it like a 5 or a 6 out of 10.
I'm giving
No
I'm giving
way,
I'm
what?
getting it a I'm giving it a 5.
yeah, 4 out of 10, sure, Kaplan.
5 out of 10.
No, I'm not doing this.
Thankfully, I'm not as thankfully you two are much more popular than me, so I'm not gonna get any.
Oh,
don't-
I don't give a shit. Like I
No, I know.
That's the point of caring about stuff like that.
No, it's just a joke. I'm just saying because you guys are more prone to get hate mail than I am, so hee hee. But jokes aside, I think that EUSD is I think it's definitely a good game. Definitely holds up well, and it is worth playing. I don't like I said, not a fan of the randomness, but people find enjoyment in that, and I think it's a great. Come on, it's the first Windows game. It's
Yeah.
definitely impressive in its
You-
own
you-
right. So.
If you want to like really play a good bunch of Touhou games, and maybe not all of them, but you want to play a good bunch, you cannot skip this one out. Pretty much.
Yeah.
I
I don't
think
think
I'm,
you can skip any of the classics out, really. But yeah, you cannot skip this one out. That's my point.
I think I'm beat. Oh
Uh,
god,
Yeah.
I'm exhausted. These are hard. Wow, full game podcasts.
Mm-hmm.
Are we gonna have to go through this every time?
I'm probably gonna have to give you a revision of the sheet so we could
Yeah.
yeah, I'll give you a revision so we could cover
guess, yeah.
probably rest topics.
If we did this format for PCB with
Oh,
the two extra
God.
stage, or IN with the two final bosses, and the two
Oh.
stage
And the two
fours.
stage floors, yes.
It will
So
be like it'll
I'll give you a
be
revision.
like
Don't worry.
5 hours.
I still like talking about the lore and design of the
Oh,
bosses.
certainly. That's very nice that we can just
Though. Like the
casually
Mei Ling
talk.
discussion. Maybe
Yeah.
we shouldn't really plan how we talk about the boss, but just kind of mention it all.
Yeah, I'll give you my revision like later on, probably in,
Alright.
yes, and yeah. So
I think I'm ready to say goodbye.
me
Yeah,
too.
sure.
Thanks. Yeah, you go first.
Yeah, thanks for watching. We'll see you guys
Have a
in
nice
PCB.
night.
See you guys in PCB.
Alright, I'm gonna stop
See
the
you guys
recording.
in BCP.